plasma man. Tom Hanks, plasma man. Tom Hanks, plasma man. Tom Hanks, plasma man. Just one loose and a hanging shine. Touch your side, he calls him bad. But on the same time, brighter can't be bad. Lost gloves, missing shoes, mazes and monsters. Dragnet, turning fools. He's that man with the one-man shoe. Tom Hanks, pass the bag. Just more loose than a hanging shine. Touch your side, he calls him bad. But on the same time, brighter can't be bad. Angels and demons, which one are you? You're a lady killer, that thing you do. Pictures of missing gloves and lost shoes. What's up with all the gloves and shoes? Tom Hanks, plasma bag. Just more loose than a hanging shine. Touch your side, he calls him bad. But on the same time, brighter can't be bad. That's right, it's Tom Hanks, plasma bag, plasma bag. No, just more loose than a hanging shine. Touch tight, he calls him bad. But on the same time, brighter can't be bad. Oh, it's bad.
The super predator places. It's so good you can taste it. Down here in the basement with the super predator places.
The Super Predator playset comes with a shape-shifting reptilian politician, light-up severed head, jar of adrenochrome, Book of the Dead and more. The Paranoid American playsets. Collect them all new from paranoidamerican.com.
Disclaimer. These are custom art creations and not toys meant for wimpy little new world order babies. Don't eat the art. Don't sue the artist. For more details, visit paranoidamerican.com.
Big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
I really had a big like a llama. I whip that thing down like Michael Obama.
We already have it with
I got that
Obama.
big
So
energy.
let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me.
No.
And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 energy. Ain't nobody wanna step like me. If you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. Ain't got that clip, bitch. Hung like a llama. I whip that dick out like Michael Obama.
White shirt, a surreal bone, Rothschild mansion, creepy halls behind every door, a cloaked body. Don't you know this is Illuminati? That we put the naughty in Illuminati. We expose the hot bodies of Illuminati. That we put the naughty in Illuminati. Mind control of your soul, of that body.
Are you ready to reveal all there is to see? Esoteric secrets revealed in all of their glory. The Illuminati series from Paranoid American. Putting the naughty in Illuminati. More details at paranoidamerican.com.
Save us, Britney Spears! Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
Used to think we knew was constantly exploring our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, winners, mega mistakes, entertaining, calming linguists, good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society to advance on philosophies intentionally, magically good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, weirdos, mischief making, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys.
Big up yourself, Secret Society of Good Guys. How are you this Friday evening?
Bup, bup, bup.
Whoop, whoop. Meow.
I gotta say, I die every time I see that little clip of Gordy with the freaking owl mask, and I think back to how he was just going nuts as like an owl. Like I lose it every
My
time
favorite.
I think about that.
My favorite.
I had to find it to put it in. Like I had to dig. Like I'm like I need the perfect clip of Gordy and his owl mask for the intro.
That's great. Perfect addition. I love it.
Hi, we didn't have a link out early. This is all my fault. We didn't have a word. We didn't have anything this week.
It's
I don't
all
know
right.
if everybody was like a little worn out. I don't know. How was your
Yeah.
guys' energy after the gay
Yeah.
clips? Because Thomas didn't love it.
man.
He thought it was so fake and gay.
I kept going out to check on it, and I was like annoyed that I was like stopping what I was doing to go and look at the sun, and then just to hurt my eyes for a little bit, and I never even saw the damn moon the whole time.
It wasn't the moon. That's the thing. It wasn't. Fucking NASA, bro. Like, oh my
There's
god.
a theory going around now too that during the
Fucking
eclipse
NASA,
that
bro.
someone swapped out the
Fucking
sun
NASA,
for a new
bro.
sun.
I think it has to do with everything in the black sun. That's what they don't want us talking about. The sun and moon. Ooh. But the black sun, we never talk about the black sun. And the black sun is why that happened. And they want to say it's Nibiru. What the fuck? What the fuck is Nibiru?
Won't you come?
It ain't Nibiru. It's the black sun, y'all. Something they don't want you to know about.
The rain, black cold stone.
Yo, how many of you in the chat thought it was the fucking moon that caused the eclipse? I just want to know. I just want to know how many people are with the times or with the indoctrination. Like I'm
Well,
just
like allegedly it was a new moon, right? And how often is there an eclipse with a new moon? That's so weird.
That is weird.
not only that. If it were a rock in space, like a rock, wouldn't you still be able to see the fucking moon like an object? You know, you have the sun and it's, you know, beaming its rays. You're gonna see the outline of the moon throughout the sky. So it only tells you one thing: either it's transparent or it wasn't there and it wasn't the moon. That's my conclusion.
Or the sun is transparent and it was behind the sun.
Or it could be the fake sun.
And why do we always talk about the new moon and there's never been an old moon? Like, what happened to all the old
Right.
moons?
Right? Where'd they go?
Because the old moon is full.
Where did they go?
Where'd
they go, huh?
going?
Is the old moon the full moon? Old moon is the full moon, right?
I guess
Well,
so.
why don't we call it old moon?
Or the empty moon,
Hello, old moon.
opposite of full.
What's his moon?
Y'all, we're not living in the reality that you think you live in. That's all I know. It is.
That is where I'll agree.
Yeah.
This is where I'll just agree. We don't live where we think we live.
No.
They don't tell us the truth about anything. We have no idea what's outside of here. We have no idea what's under here. And everything's just a fucking fairy tale or like movie Hollywood script trying to explain it to us.
Yeah.
And really, mythology is
shit.
probably where it's at. It's like more outlandish than we all think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably the darker they say the information is, and don't touch.
The darker the information, the
stupid is
sweeter the
that?
juice.
Ugh,
Yeah.
God.
Have
Yeah.
any of
I
you
feel
guys
it.
heard of the bicameral mind theory? I know it's like a really niche
Yeah.
thing. So
Bicameral.
Yes.
What?
bicameral
Bicameral.
mind theory,
Do we have to add a letter to my group for that?
maybe. I think you might have to. Yeah. I mean, honestly, shouldn't the
Yeah.
whole group be very flexible at this point? Like, it's weird that everything even gets printed anymore.
Why isn't it LGBTQ3?
Why isn't there any
They should
vowels?
just put, yeah, like why don't they just add a like different equations at this point? That's how we should LGBTQ divided
is a
by
plus, right?
TL plus.
FTL.
There
Isn't there
is
a plus?
Earth,
LGBTQ plus?
What's
There is a
what's
plus,
it's not
right?
Earth, Earth.
It could be an
Sometimes-
algorithm.
an
It could be an
equation.
actual algorithm at some point.
Can we just do instead of LGBTQ, it's just less than L?
An unsolvable equation.
Can we all just
Less
agree?
than L.
Yeah. Less than L.
Ah, Chaney, I love you.
But I brought up the bicameral thing because I
But-
recently found like a new interpretation of it. I first heard about it a long time ago in like feral child studies, where they were trying to explain there's like a certain point of no return, that if you're not civilized by like X day of your life, then you kind of just remain whatever you achieved up to that point. I think like a lot of, so anyways, one of the explanations though is they were saying that people in ancient Greece, maybe as recently as that,
Ancient
Didn't-
Greece.
ancient, well, yes, I got triggered, Layla, like in quote ancient Greece, but that people didn't actually know that their emotions came from within, and they maybe didn't come from within, and there was like this actual divide in the brain, hence the bicameral brain theory, but that
Right.
one side of the brain was responsible for language and the other one was responsible for like reactions and actions and emotions. So the way that, like, a practical example is that if you get angry or if you get sad about something, the theory in bicameral mind theory is that like you would never at any point, nor would anyone on the entire planet ever consider that those emotions are a reaction from like your feeling about something outside. It was actually perceived as an external thing,
External,
like
right.
madness was going around or sadness was going around, and you had no control over it. And that it was only through people learning language and being able to communicate on their own terms that we actually develop a conscience. And then without consciousness, that you're kind of just like at the whim of like emotions that are floating around. It's just a random
What's
theory,
happening
highly
today?
contested, but it
No one's
fits
using
into
their
mythology.
consciousness. No one's using their
even
consciousness today. They're using their
emotion.
copycat mentality. oh, I like what I see. I want to do exactly that. It's just not
Emotion
like,
stands for energy in motion, though. So it does make sense that that emotion is outside of you because it's something like it's literally something you're supposed to feel and release. They're sine waves. It's just freaking electromagnetic waves that
mm,
passes through you. It's energy. And
Where
that's when
did
you
you
get sick is when you trap it in your body. Like when because it's not supposed to be in your body. You're supposed
yeah,
to
and the
feel it and let it
knots.
go.
Oh, God, I need a massage.
You know how you
Like,
said you're digital auditory, Abby?
Yeah.
Like everybody has
Yes.
different learning styles. I'm an auditory learner and
Yeah.
I have a photographic
Yeah.
auditory memory if I allow my ears to pay attention and I
yes.
don't also look up. Abby is a digital auditory, so she has to hear herself say it after she learns it. She has to
Mm,
hear herself say it aloud somewhere and then her body like really puts it. Is that kind of it? Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's so weird because, I'm an educator. I went through all the education. I learned about all the different intelligences. I learned about the different learning styles, kinesthetic, tactile, auditory, um, visual, and all of that. And I never fit into any of those categories very well. I fit into all of them a little bit, like, but any tests, like, I never passed it. So then I learned NLP, and he's talking about all the
Fascinating.
different like how you can listen to somebody talk and you can pretty much gauge what their learning style is. Like if you're using a lot of words that have sound, like this sounds so amazing, or that rings a bell, then that person's probably like very auditory. Or if they're sitting there like they use visual words, you can pick up on it just by what they talk about. But then he gets into there's really not a lot of cues for somebody who's auditory digital. He's like, this is a total different category. And I was like, what's he talking about? And
Abby's like auditory digital.
huh. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like, so because I've never heard about this before, but I'm like
You
one
have, you
weird
just
thing
never
about
said it
me.
aloud.
Yeah, I just never said a lot. I didn't retain it. So like a weird thing about me is like after I have a conversation with somebody, I will sit there and kind of like repeat the conversation and I have to speak it out loud. I'll like whisper it to myself. So like I know like I feel so embarrassed when I do it. I've always like been like kind of shamed, like, why do I do this? Right. And like especially if somebody walks in and they hear me doing it, they're probably like, what the fuck is she doing? But
Who cares?
that's like if you're talking to me, I might only retain about like 20% of what you say, like, unless I actually like repeat it back to you or or after the conversation, like if I can really quick go and like whisper it to myself a couple times. I have to
And
hear myself repeat it back.
so if you hear her, like if you had a good convo with Abby, you should be offended if you don't hear her in the room later talking to herself about it.
That's what I'm saying. And so for all of you out there who have this weird eccentricity, it's not an eccentricity, it's just a learning style that they don't ever fucking teach anyone about unless they take an NLP course.
And then it
Yeah.
would be so important to hang out with you would need time by yourself.
I
Like
do.
not just meditation time,
I
it would
have
be
to do that.
extra important for you to have time by yourself to be not just the stuff you're learning, but everything in the whole day that you have to retain to give yourself time to say it back to yourself so you really retain it.
Those
And
are
that's what
extra senses you have. They say
and
that
that
we only
when
have
I've
5, but
yeah.
no, it's more. It's your extra sense that you have that makes it your thing. Because everybody has more than 5 senses. They just teach us the basics, but your sense is also spirituality. If you don't have a
Yeah.
sense of spirituality, what the fuck? Like that's a sense. Spirituality is a sense. Whatever you're talking about right now is a sense. That picture memory is a sense. Like you grasping that image is your power. Like you are auditory. That is your power. Everyone has these extra senses that we just only have 5. Yeah, right. No, we have more than that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, stupid fuck.
You're right.
Stupid
So,
motherfuckers.
like if I'm in a
You're
fight with
limiting
Grab a
somebody,
yourself.
cough, yeah,
like I
right.
can't
You're
think on my
limiting
feet.
yourself, you people. You don't even know
You
how
you don't
powerful you are. You're limiting yourself here.
Abby,
Now,
you said you can't think on your feet?
Like if I'm sitting there like fighting with somebody, like in a conversation, and it's not that I'm stupid or anything, but I go completely blank, like because I can't think of what to say, what I need to say. The words won't come to me because I'm trying to process what they're saying and their emotion. And so then it's like I'm so stressed out. So
Yeah.
then it's like I have to take time away and then I can come back and like talk about it. And it's not like I'm not trying to freaking
You're not heated up by
run
them
away.
or
Yeah.
emotional. You're
That's
just
your
like,
Yeah.
I
fucking
need to
power,
process.
baby.
I don't know what you're saying to
Yeah,
me right
feels a
now, so I
personal-
have to like take a little break so I can freaking go talk to myself for a second, and then I can
Yeah.
get back to you, and I can argue back,
I do the
or
same.
you know,
Exactly.
resolve it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
My
That
wife
dog
tells
gets a lot of
me
walks now.
It
my-
would suck to be like an olfactory learner. Like you would have to be burning like a candle or something in order to retain anything. Like I think I'm a kinesthetic learner, which means I have to be drawing
Doing
something
it.
or like writing something. And that
Yeah.
always blew my mind when I was growing up in class because I would never pay attention or like it didn't look like I was paying attention. I would hear everything that was going on, but I would have to doodle. And then if you're doodling, it looks like you're not paying attention. Or I
Yeah.
would like take the notes. The
That's
best
actually
classes-
auditory.
Is it possible to be
Yeah.
all
That's
of it?
what I am.
Yeah.
You're auditory
Yeah.
I'm auditory, too.
photographic.
Is
You
it
have an
possible?
if you get your brain to, because part of your brain when you're doodling and doing that stuff, and you allow your head and you just know you're gonna remember it instead of taking notes. Your auditory is like you're a little court reporter.
Hmm.
Once you let yourself go and just start doodling, and you know your brain has it,
Yeah.
it has it. But it took me to college to realize that. Because no one knew my learning style. That
Well, and
you have
people
to doodle.
actively fight that. If
Yeah.
someone notices
I
you're
have
not
to
like
write.
like
I can't-
I just remember the teachers, if you didn't
Yeah.
make eye contact, then you weren't paying attention. Especially if you just had
What
like
are you
a
doing?
notebook full of weird doodles all over the place.
Snap out of it. Pay attention.
Well, and that's the issue. Like a lot of these ADHD kids are actually just kinesthetic learners. Like they actually, so kinesthetic would be like if he's standing on his head, he's probably listening to everything I say. But if he's like
yeah.
sitting there going like this, like he ain't hearing a fucking word.
Nothing. Yeah.
So like those little kids with ADHD, if they had a place to like stand up at the back of the classroom or something like that where they can wiggle, or like if you incorporate like some sort
That's
of
why
movement
when you-
into
I get like
learning,
that
then
with
they learn it better.
NPCs.
That's why when you guys put this stuff in the song, it'll make such a big impact. Because I mean, this is gonna get, if Michelle gets
You mean
starts-
President Michelle. Say
President
it with some
Michelle,
respect,
I
please.
mean, your
What Michelle
your
are we talking
song is
about?
gonna
Big
blow
Mike.
up,
They're talking
man.
about Big
Oh.
Big
Mike.
Mike.
That's what we're
Michael?
like. Who's Michelle?
Mike
Yeah,
Jack.
Call her
I thought it was
Michelle.
Michael. Yeah.
Who the fuck is
Who the
Michelle?
fuck is Michelle? What?
Do we even have an actress in
Big
Hollywood
dick
named Michelle?
energy.
Michelle
Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, that's it. If you're talking about Michelle, you better be talking about
Michelle
Michelle
from Full
Pfeiffer
House.
around here.
Michelle.
There is no other Michelle.
Michelle
There's
from Full
no other
House.
Michelle.
There's the
Yeah.
Michelle. There's
Michelle from Full House. What one's
Yeah.
that?
The
There's-
Olsen twins. Michelle.
Uh,
I
There's
remember
Michelle.
Michelle.
yeah,
Michelle.
there are Michelles too.
Michelle.
There's Michelle's Healing Home. Michelle.
Yeah, she's the
She's
only
around
Michelle
here. She's the
around
only
here.
The real.
Only
Michelle.
Michelle
Yeah,
from
the
Healing
real.
Home. You
Who
guys can
ruined
find
it?
that channel on
Why aren't
YouTube.
there more? Someone had to ruin it,
Yo,
right? That's
dude.
usually what happens.
I think Archangel Michael is a Michelle. Excuse me. All her ancient depictions of her or him looks like female. Face
Are
very
we
feminine.
transvestigating angels now? I'm
Dude.
all in for this. We should
I'm
start pulling up
telling
pictures
you.
of angels and just being like, that's a dude, that's a dude, that's a chick, that's a dude.
I'm telling you, and that's why they use Michelle as that, because they know Michelle, Michael, my Archangel Michael is actually Michelle, because all the ancient depictions of her, him, whatever, look female. The face is very female. Like it could be a flat-chested female for all we know. Like, because we know they hide everything about feminine, anything feminine and godly towards like anything connecting God and feminine. Like they hide it. Why? I don't know. But I swear, I'm convinced that Michael is Michelle.
I have a weird one.
care
If
what
we're going to
anyone says.
transvestigate angels, I think there should be a transvestigation on Geronimo. Here's Geronimo when he was young. Okay.
Oh, the
And
witch doctor or
here's,
something?
yeah, here's Geronimo when he died.
Feminine.
He did
Like-
kind of look like an
For
old
nature.
woman.
Look at
That okay, an old, if you've grown
an
up,
old Indian lady
an old
looks like
Indian
that.
lady looks just like that. The old Navajo ladies in Page, Arizona, when I was a kid, looked exactly like that.
That's a book,
And
Nisha.
look at this. All of Geronimo's weapons, y'all, were like, in my opinion, especially for the guns back then, they all look like they are. That isn't. It's a stinking.
Oh, I love
It's
those.
a single shooter.
Lever,
Um,
lever action.
it's like that is a. I'll find the real one while we're on, but
That
it's
wasn't
in a
his.
belt. That's not his at all.
Yeah,
Hers,
those
his.
aren't his.
But if you see all of the weapons of Geronimo, it's all so ornate. It all looks so
Mm-hmm.
feminine. And then when you look into all the old like medicine person thing, they were usually medicine woman in old tribes. They were rarely medicine men. This is some new age bullshit. And they would also always take the skull of women because they were considered magic. They didn't care about the skull of men. They weren't trying to save the skulls of men. So the idea that the skull and bones would keep the skull of Geronimo, and Geronimo was captured, everybody thinks that he was the greatest warrior and all that. No, he was traveled around at your world's fairs, just like a circus animal. He would sew buttons on his clothes just so he could rip them off and sell them to people to feed himself. So
What about Frida Kahlo?
Man,
She was
no, but
totally a man. Well, no, have you guys looked into any of that where you saw her childhood pictures and she was in the family pictures as a little boy? And then all her art depicts the issues with her uterus and almost like it doesn't exist.
You know what
Like her
I've
family
always
transitioned her.
You know what I've noticed? I have my mom's cousin who lives in Belgium, okay? She has 4 boys. Her last boy, she knows is a boy. She's just dressing it like a girl because she wants a girl so bad.
Mm.
And I feel like mothers do this. Like this is like a
Mhm.
thing. Like they want a girl so bad and that they can't fucking create one. So they turn their boys into girls just to have that feeling of having a girl. And I'm just like, why are you doing that? Like I saw it. I went to Belgium and I was like, oh, your daughter, oh no, it's a boy. I'm like, so why are you dressing it like a girl? Like, and this is me at 16 years old. And I'm like seeing the trend of this even in our community because they can't create one, they'll dress a boy up as a girl just to feel complete. Like I didn't have a girl, so I'm gonna make this child a girl. And I'm like,
did you guys have baby dolls?
I did.
Were you like into baby dolls?
Yeah,
Were
all
Yes,
toys.
you
Cabbage Patch, baby.
Not just girl toys, but boy toys, all kinds of toys. Anything that was interesting.
Yeah, I never wanted a baby doll. It's curious because I never wanted for a baby, but I never wanted a baby doll when I was little either. My sister always wanted baby dolls. She has 5 daughters. Like she always wanted to hold a baby. But then I think back, was she given baby dolls and I was never given baby dolls?
Hmm.
Like what came first, the baby doll or the baby?
Can you see
Like
that?
yeah,
Oh
totally.
yeah.
That's Frida.
Who's
It's in the
Like
middle.
that? Wow.
are the
Wow.
Are the baby dolls just a
That's a handsome
psyop
man.
that you want to push on a society to get them to breed? Like, are baby dolls kind of a good psyop for that? Like, or do little girls really just like, she always is in here trying to help me with the baby. Let me give her her own baby.
What if there's something
It's sort of like the
like
Montessori of it all, though. Like the idea of training children to do practical skills from a young age. Like it's
Is
kind
that
of,
that? Or is it like
yeah,
a
I would
Chucky?
say it kind of is.
A
Because
what?
like a Bruja, whatever. How do you say it? Like black magic, like the dolls and the
Oh, bruja.
Bruja. There you go.
Brujeria.
Brujeria.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mhm.
Brujeria. I think it has something to do with that, and you don't realize it. And so they mask it with like, oh, this is Montessori. Here you go. Here's a baby doll.
I think you're on the money for this actually. I recently posted a video on Twitter called Dance and Trance in Bali, and it was this video from the 30s that it was funded by the Scottish Rite. It was funded by the Department of like Child Psychology Research and stuff.
No kidding.
And one of the things that they do is they have this, and this is like all customs that were in Bali, allegedly, right? I don't know if there was a script and they were like, all right, do this thing. But one of the things that they do there is they have like one of the women in the tribe, she like goes through an entire mock ritual in the middle of the village where everyone's watching, and they have this all recorded. And like part of that ritual is that she'll have like this little baby doll, and it'll die, right? And then like some of these kids will come up dancing like little demons, and they'll steal the baby from her, and they'll like whisk it off and run away. And then she starts like going through all the very real emotions of like just losing a child and crying and screaming, and everyone's there. And then eventually like they bring the baby back to her, and it's this whole ritual, but they do it like religiously, literally.
Well,
And the whole thing is just to get everyone to like
take
share
you
the
away
emotion.
right now.
Well, when you think about it, like you're
Big
taking
labyrinth.
a thing and giving it life, thinking that it is a thing, you know, like thinking that it is a thing. Like I'm a little kid and all that power and magic that I have as an innocent being, and then taking this doll and like, oh, this is my little baby,
Like
and
an
giving it,
egregore.
yeah,
Very
and
much. That's what
you're
it seems
giving
like.
it a type of life because it is real in our reality in a sense. Yeah, it might not have a soul, but it is like a thing. So we're giving it in a vibration and energy to it. So it is, I think,
Oh my
something
gosh.
a jinn that can use.
Okay, here's a question. If there is that kind of power given to it, at what point that you stop feeding it or showing up for it, or it just kind of dies energetically like that, is there a loss for a kid somewhere, like, oh, my baby doll? Because you see kids sometimes freak out, like they need their baby doll or they can't go on a trip, or they need their certain stuffed animal or their whatever to sleep. So is there something attached to that that then has a reverse effect in a way, kind of like if you do have a hoodoo or voodoo or santeria where you're paying homage to this thing for a certain amount of time, then you don't?
Maybe it has to do with everything in the child and how the child perceives it as how real it is, because then that child develops like the oh, here's my imaginary friend, so it can go from doll to imaginary friend, and that imaginary friend could be that entity that we're just not aware of, but the child is aware of, and they created that entity without realizing it. That could be a big possibility.
My original Cabbage Patch that I got when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I loved her. Her name was Cassie, and like she went everywhere with me. And I had other Cabbage Patches, I had other dolls.
How you said
but
I loved her. Like
I
it
did.
almost made me spit my water. But
I
it was
did.
just like you were like, her name was Cassie. I loved her.
Yeah.
Like it
I just
just it
imagine
was
a
like
vector
So-
for bacteria.
I
Me
didn't
too.
mess with her for years. You know, I stopped playing with her when I was a little kid. Anyway, I joined the military, came home, and my little sister, I like went out and I saw in the backyard my Cabbage Patch had been torn up by her dog, and I was fucking pissed. Like I didn't keep anything from my childhood. I don't have anything
Same.
like scrapbook or in pictures. That's what I
Same.
have. But I had Cassie, and I was like I never intended to not have her, even though she was like worn the fuck out from me playing with her all the time. So I was so offended and hurt by it. It was so weird. Like it's so weird how bad that like bothered me
There's something to it.
as
I'm
an
telling you.
adult.
Because according to Islam and the hadiths, the fucking hadiths, bro. Oh, God.
We need a little intro for whenever she brings them up. It's like, oh, we got to play the
Oh.
intro.
Yeah.
How do you-
Yeah.
Close to prayer or something. I don't know. But it's just like I can't. They say that children are angels. So the age of 7.
Layla hates the hadith.
I wipe my fucking ass and pussy with it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not like
You can
Why do you have to
quote
say
the
it like
Beyonce
that?
song, like I stuffed my
Maybe
I
straight.
plugged my menses with
That's all I
your
can say.
penis.
I'm just saying.
Okay. What now with the hadiths? I forgot everything
Wait,
that's
yeah.
happened, and I was
got
all on
blacked
the
out there.
song.
The hadith claim that
Auditory
children.
digital.
Yo, I
Digital
really don't
art.
care. Like they can call me whatever they want. I will be as authentic as I am. Something happened with the fucking solar eclipse, but in the hadiths, they talk about how children are angels till the age of 7. If something happens, after the age of 7,
Yeah.
and they just become NPC after that. So it's like a conditioned person, like their angelic form or their angelic identity is not there anymore. So they have this power where they can see beings, they can see the in between, they can see people of the dead, and they prophesy around till the age of 7, and after that it's like gone. Something happens to them, but it's there. I don't know what it means. Oh, the Cabbage Patch theory. I love this.
I think
What do you make of all that, y'all? That's some fucking
Weird.
It's such a weird rabbit hole.
the orphan trains.
The Cabbage Patch dolls and the kids. The first
And like giving them away as like prizes at fairs. Although that last one about giving them away, I looked into one of those, and it was sort of like this overblown story where they wanted to give a baby away as like a marketing thing, and they were going to wait for someone to come and claim it, and then like, oh, you're not actually going to get this baby, but no one actually wanted it. And that kind of sounds pretty typical. Like, who the hell actually wants to show up to a fair and then like go home with a new baby to take care of? Although, I mean, there's crazies out there, but
unless women
I know some
weren't
people.
procreating and something happened and they weren't allowed to have babies, or something happened
Yeah.
in their biology.
Or like a vax injury that a certain generation of women were
Desperate.
infertile.
Yeah.
And so like you were saying how with your baby doll, or how certain ladies will they want a baby girl so bad. Imagine that same lady who never even has a baby boy. Could she maybe steal a baby, or would she be willing to like go to a county fair and win one?
well, this is really wild.
Half court shot.
When I went to
Greeny.
when I went to Boston recently, there was like this whole tribute to like the lady that founded the modern day adoption process. And when you look into that, like, it was entirely created around making sure that the child could never contact the parent ever again. And it was pitched as like a safety measure for someone that didn't want to have their kids traced back to them if you gave it up for adoption. But really what ended up happening is it was just like a big like a smuggling aspect, where if you were able to kidnap someone's kid and put them into the same process as like the adoption agency, that same exact system, now there's no way to trace them back, and they're still like a legal child on the books.
The Cabbage Patch was weird because you got the birth certificate.
And then that was tied with the whole stork idea, like pushing the stork and having your child delivered, like instead of it coming from the womb. It's like, what?
I feel like that's the first
touch it on the butt.
Mickey Mouse cartoon. Before Mickey was a mouse, he was a rabbit. And the first one is all this stork coming and dropping a whole bunch of rabbit in a chimney. And it's Mickey's trying to plug up the chimney so that the stork will stop dropping off babies. And so he's trying to figure out, and it's just a silent cartoon, but it's like the first Mickey Mouse cartoon. Every time I think of the stork, I always think of that.
The intro to Dumbo too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The stork
Dumbo
is
too.
prevalent in a lot of Disney. Like even my favorite Disney cartoon, Lambert, the sheepless lion.
That's symbolic. And we're still not understanding what it means.
Yep.
What is the meaning behind that? The stork.
Lambert! Lambert! Sorry.
They could have picked an eagle. They could have picked a vulture. They could have picked like a big ass fucking bird, a pelican or something.
Yeah,
but
why a stork?
A stork.
Yeah, a pelican would have made more sense. Carry the baby safely in their gullet and just drop it off.
Yeah, pelican.
Yeah, but like symbolically though, the pelican would be a phoenix, or like represent the same kind of thing. But now you don't want your baby to be delivered as like the symbol for rebirth, I guess. It's too on the nose. You don't want to have people having the direct access to that kind of knowledge.
Yeah, that would be too on the
Stork and pelican are kind of relatively in the same place, so they're kind of close.
They're both birds.
They're both birds, they kind of exist in the same realms.
They're both dinosaurs.
Both
it was a dinosaur that
dinosaurs,
dropped it off once.
All birds are dinosaurs.
Interesting.
What do you guys think of that? All birds are dinosaurs.
The root meaning is of a stork is stir, okay? And it's stiff. It forms all parts of cholesterol, red starch, stark, stare, naked, start, startle, starve, stereo, stern.
Not
So it's like
store.
Living and stuff.
It's star,
star, stare, stark,
but it wouldn't be store.
naked.
Like shop, like you're going to get something, like a stork. You know,
Hide, skin. Very interesting. I don't know. It's a mystery.
Hide
The
skin.
stork.
there was.
Is there an animal represented with taking babies back away, or is it only bringing babies?
What is
Isn't
this?
it the vulture or the where's the Maleficent and that blackbird?
I guess it would be
I
a,
like
a
vulture.
dingo, right?
A dingo ate your baby.
A dingo is the
Dingo
only
ate my
animal that I know
baby.
is associated with taking human babies.
Yeah. Dingo, a dog man. A dog man ate your baby. Somebody should.
Appalachian
Oh,
twang.
them dog mans ate my baby.
I guarantee you a police
Oh
officer
my
has heard that
God.
this year, maybe even on live PD.
Oh, for sure.
Them dog mans ate my baby. Oh, Jesus. The dog man ate my baby.
I wonder if you just did that for 3 minutes and we just
Let's
see
what-
and we all console you. Anyone
Oh,
that doesn't know
yeah,
and
like
they're just
Midsummer?
scrolling through.
Just
No, so anyone that's scrolling through that just are like, huh, I wonder if this show's interesting.
What
And
the
Gordy's
hell?
on here crying.
Yeah.
Man, ain't my
And,
baby.
and talking about a pussless pussy.
This lady's yelling about sticking a hot decent in her pussy.
Me? Sorry, y'all. I'm just feeling myself today.
I
Blood
like
from
that. I
Memphis.
was like, ew. And Gordy goes,
Yo, I'm not. I'm like, that's all I gotta say.
you're the one who put pussy in your pussy. None of us did.
Yeah,
I know. I don't think of pussy.
I don't like
just
the
a-
word.
Me
I
either.
don't like
it's
the
just
word.
a word.
I don't like the word.
It's like
I'm
moist
okay with
snack.
pussy. I don't like moist. Moist is like
I
a
like
weird
moist.
word. Moist is so uncomfortable.
because
And I
moist,
think, like, a
moist pussy is
moist
better than
pussy
dry
together.
pussy.
Hello.
Right?
Oh,
Can
I'm
we
okay
just
with
say
that.
wet? Does
Wait,
it
wait,
have to
wait,
be
wait,
moist?
wait. Guys, moist pussy is better than dry pussy. What do you guys talking
Yeah,
about?
I'm
No.
in.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Wet.
We're at-
Wet. Wet is a good word.
What?
Wet sometimes
That
too wet.
Do you
It's
think
not called
there's
a map.
preference,
It's called a
though?
whop.
Is this universal? Do you
What?
think there's anyone out there
What?
that's like, I really just like it when it's dry?
Yeah, right? I don't think anybody likes it when it's
Like, that's-
dry.
That's the kink is that I like it.
That's why some people just hook up with
Kinda-
cougars. They're just like looking for some dry ass pussy.
What is it? The
Brittany
friction?
Spears, back me up. I know you feel the same way about the word moist, so you better say it in the chat.
Is it the
Just saying.
friction?
I thought you were pointing at me, and I was
Right,
like, I don't mind
right,
the word
the
moist.
I know.
I was
but
like, I
do.
don't.
I
I'm not
like it.
lying about it,
It's like
Abby.
one
I
of the
don't
worst
mind.
words to me.
No.
Y'all, if you're like super duper into religion, this conversation is not for you. So
Yeah.
don't come at us. Just saying. We're adults here, so we speak adult. Okay.
God made the ladies that made the babies, man.
That's
Just
it.
chill, okay?
Amen. Amen.
So to just veer a hard left,
We're all voting Biden?
make sure you hit that like and subscribe and go and follow our backup channel just in case. And also, we will be creating a Rumble channel any second now, just in case.
Just in case.
So, but thank you all for being here and tell a friend. Hard left though. Do you guys remember where you were? I feel like for our age group, this is our first like big psyop. This is our baby Jessica in the well. This is our Charles Manson. That when OJ Simpson goes on that Bronco ride, this is the first thing I can remember so prevalent in all of our zeitgeist. Before 9/11, it was like stamped on us. We all knew about OJ. It took over. It didn't matter if you were a kid and it took over your cartoon. It didn't matter if you were a teenager and it took over your after school special. It didn't matter if you were an adult. It was the beginning of the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, but I also know that she didn't really die though. That she's that new news reporter that was on that blonde bombshell. I forgot her name. She was on
Megyn Kelly.
Fox. Yeah, that's her, and she didn't really die. And it was a whole psyop concocted for the masses for a particular reason. I don't even know if the fucking reason. Like, what was the point of all that?
I don't
But
think she's Megyn Kelly.
no,
I don't think she
they
is.
look pretty.
I think
I don't
sometimes
know.
people just look alike.
But it's Hollywood, you know?
No.
It's Hollywood. So I'm
Because
just like,
even if you
look
look
alike.
at Nicole Brown Simpson's sister, it is uncanny how much they looked alike. And there was a time that people were saying in the courtroom that if her sister would have bleached her hair out and walked into the courtroom, it would have stopped the courts because of how much her and her sister looked alike in the face. And it was not only the 24-hour news cycle, this is how we meet the Kardashians. This is like the most powerful thing I feel like in our pop culture, in our nostalgia. It's gonna, I feel like there's potential that Kim is our president one day. And I know that
oh,
sounds
God
so
forbid. Oh, my
crazy,
God.
but
Oh,
she is
my
in law
God.
school. She is in law school and has been for some years. She's already has cases that she's helped people get out of prison that were supposed to be in there for a really
Is
long
she
time.
really in law school, though?
I mean, of any of it, what is real, but from
Right.
what they tell us, she's been in law school for a few years. And in my opinion, they tried to push The Rock this year for president. Like they were going to have him swoop in and clean up. Like they wanted him to be perfect for the Maui fires. And he's cleaned up his act over the last few years, hasn't done a lot of movies. They were trying to make him this character to walk us
Who's
into
him?
the idiocalypse, The Rock.
Oh,
But I look at The Rock and Kim Kardashian the same. Like that Hollywood idea of politics. Once it's one, it's anyone. And we're at Donald Trump.
Well, and
Yeah.
Kanye
So
calling Kim out for, for like the Clintons and stuff, calling her on the phone all the time, and
how
she's
did she
very
get famous? The sex tape with
connected
Ray J?
politically.
but her mom
Supposedly?
planned it. And who was Ray J but Brandy's little brother?
Like nobody's. And then her ass made her famous.
I heard Ray J was the Hollywood coke dealer and that he was the one that brought Whitney the shit that killed her that night.
I believe it.
Ooh.
I always wonder what if it was like OJ's transfer of energy, because he was getting pretty big in Hollywood. He was in a bunch of major motion pictures, comedian,
Comedies.
spokesman for a lot of different major national brands. And then if you just imagine him losing all of his energy in that courtroom, getting it sucked away from him, and now he's like this horrible joke, possible murderer. That energy doesn't just evaporate into nothing. And like one of the proofs is that they even made Judge Ito like a semi-celebrity out of that freaking trial. Like, he wasn't a celebrity, but
They have
just
the
his
dancing
presence,
Itos.
OJ as this collapsing star, made him like how. And so I think if anyone in that courtroom was like, oh crap, there's free freaking energy here for the taking, like they could clean up and loosh that day.
Kato Kalin. I feel like every single lawyer from that case became famous. The judge became famous. The any of the people that were on the trial, the witnesses became famous. Like every single, because we all hung out with them for a whole week once they hit the stand. So they were in your household. And then after they were on the stand and were allowed, they made the circuit. And so before the O.J. Simpson trial was the LA riots, and not where everything lit on fire because an Asian lady, I think, shot a black girl in her store or something and then got off. And then right afterward, like the O.J. Simpson thing builds up, and then that
April
happens
26,
too.
1992.
We also heard the term watch the wives. So it's like these mothers are prostituting their own children for something. It's like they even go as far as sacrificing their firstborns. Sometimes not their firstborns. There's someone that's close to them. So it's like what are these women know that we don't know? Like they're like allowing their children to be like put into this circle of like prostitution and like literally publicly post the video of your daughter getting fucked. Like, what mother does that?
I don't think they know anything we don't know. I think they're just fucked up. Period.
Is that it? Or they have to know something. Like, they can't just be doing that just to
there-
do it.
Psychopathy has a lot of different forms.
OJ before this, he was
23.
the biggest. He was the biggest
He was huge.
celebrity. Like for our fathers, OJ was America. Like I was thinking about this over the last 2 days and just how as far as heroes go, I don't know if my dad would have said he had a heroes, but he really dug OJ Simpson. And I felt like some part of his America was crushed during that Bronco chase. Like I don't realize it until being an adult now and sitting looking back. But it would have been the same way as if Muhammad Ali killed his wife and did that. Like the pedestal that my dad had this guy on. And I feel like a lot of Americans had OJ on. Like he wasn't black, he was OJ. And even OJ would say that himself, where it wasn't a class thing, it wasn't a money thing. Like OJ could go anywhere and everybody loved OJ. For all intents and purposes, before Trump ran for president, Trump became the next OJ. Like OJ was in every hip hop song. OJ was in every video. OJ was in every movie. OJ was in every commercial. That's what Trump was. Like everybody loved OJ. And so like kind of what you're saying in that Illuminati ritual kind of way, or even a Bill Cosby kind of way, or even a Michael Jackson kind of way, is a black man ever allowed to have that kind of power? Like, is there something with the ritual where, sorry, Kobe Bryant, you're eventually going to get helicoptered or you're going to get accused of rape if you don't play ball? No pun intended.
And OJ
Or
was
with
in
HIV
Capricorn
or-
1, which is a really important sync in this because Capricorn
That-
1 was the first
That is
major movie about the Apollo missions being completely faked.
Oh,
When
shit.
did that come
True.
out?
If you've never seen 70s.
Yeah, I want to say 70s.
It was called Capricorn 1.
Capricorn 1, 1977.
Y'all,
77.
did his glove fit or did it not
A
fit?
lot of things happened in 77.
I heard like different theories of his glove fitting, but he made it seem like it didn't fit.
His hands were swollen. He has really severe arthritis, so they told him not to take his medication that morning. But did you guys see Jason Whitlock today posted a little reel on the acquittal, like right when they read the not guilty, and it showed Robert Kardashian right in front of OJ, like literally his best friend, and his face, like
I saw
it did
that.
not look happy at all. It totally was like, oh shit.
I saw that. I don't know. Why do they do all of this?
Robert probably knew he was dead that day.
Yeah.
Robert knew his story wasn't long after that day because Robert doesn't do anything in that case. Robert just opens the door one evening and OJ throws a bag there at him. And so that Robert doesn't ever have to be a witness on the stand, he becomes one of the attorneys. That's
Well, Robert
it.
was a good guy and they didn't want him alive anymore. And that's why, what's her face, had him sacrificed so she can have everything that she wants.
I feel like Robert was a cuck and watched his wife get fucked by a black man, and that's how he has
Yeah.
Khloe Kardashian.
Yep.
I feel like Robert is not innocent in all of this.
What's that
No,
town in
he's
Florida
not.
with the loofahs?
With the what?
With the loofahs? The town in Florida?
With the loofahs.
Yeah. Where they, swap wives and like they have different kinks, so they have a different color loofah. There's a town in Florida.
I don't know this.
What? Oh my God. There's a whole town where everyone has loofahs on their car to represent what kind of kink they're in. And they
fuck?
swap wives.
Oh,
and-
you know what I heard? They're where do the old people live, Thomas, in Florida? The
Yes.
villages?
Yeah, the Villages is the main one, and then Sarasota is where all the old ladies go to find their final resting dudes.
Oh my gosh.
if you're a dude and you can make it to your 70s, I just feel like it becomes at 70, there's probably 20 women to you. If you make it to 80, there's 50 women to you. Like you become the stud of studs. If the older you get as a man, especially because there's less and less men out there for straight ladies, and they are all after the same man.
Thank God for Viagra, y'all. If you make it, you're
If
good.
you care. If you
you
care enough
care.
by then, you might be like, I've done
I
so
think they
much
just have bowls of
drugstore.
Viagra in the villages.
don't
Like when
need
you
it.
walk into the lobbies, it's like going to a bank.
Yeah, it's like a lollipop Viagra.
You know, what's that bitch from Sex in the City? She took it and she looked like she had a good time, like a representation. So I wouldn't be like objected to like taking Viagra if it looked like what she was experiencing.
And they could make them into like Werther's Originals with like Viagra added. It would be perfect.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders take
There's
Viagra
like a
before they
little-
go on stage. Like, 'cause it helps your vascularity.
Yeah.
Dude, there
Some
are
women do it too.
Energizer Bunny, baby.
there's tons of advertising for ED medications on Matlock and
I've
Log.
never needed Viagra.
Age.
Yeah, I've
Jeez.
never needed
What would
that.
you need
Dying.
this for? I'm thinking like
I'm just saying.
it was like I'm like going over everything.
I
in my
don't
head,
either,
and I'm
but like the way that
no.
she represented it, I'm like, all right, that's interesting. You know, that's
Dumb
very
question, but I've never heard of a woman taking Viagra. What is
Oh,
the
it's a thing. It's a thing. If it could get a man hard and going and going and going, if imagine an older lady that doesn't have the sex drive
got you.
anymore.
That has some
And
dry
It improves
ass water.
circulation. It improves circulation, and like female bodybuilders will even
That
take it
has
before
some
they go
old
on stage.
dust.
Really?
Yeah,
Viagra?
yeah. Like male
they
and
wanna-
female, they'll pop it before they go on stage. Like my category, not because we don't want the vascularity to show up, but in the categories where vascularity is a big deal, like they'll pop Viagra because
Shit.
then their veins will pop.
Are they horny?
Dude, no. By peak week, you're never horny. Like you can't even think about sex. Like you're so worn out and you have no body fat and you can't even sit on the toilet comfortably. So
Oh
no.
damn.
Oh, yeah.
No, no good.
I
no
pictured
bueno.
the Predator, the alien from Predator, just coughing powder, and that would be a dusty muffin, like dry old muffin that needs some Viagra. I just picture the Predator like, and it's like powder. That's what the face would look like it need a cigar. Like, you want in here, kid? You're gonna have to get on this couch.
That's all I am.
That's kind of vagina should all have voices.
Yeah, exactly. But it
And a
sounds
dry
like
old vagina
dry
would have
old-
a cigar
old-
and a beard.
How old are you, kid? Yeah. Come over here. Go in and my place. Go get
Like
in
a
my
cat.
place. There's a couple of nickels for you in there.
He has two shiny nickels
You
that
got
become
two
like
shiny-
mama's vagina.
Oh my god.
On your way over, grab the blackhead gun.
And 2 fingers of whiskey, if you don't mind.
Look at this thumb trick.
Look at it. What's this? It's magic.
Sorry, this is off the rails. I wish I could do paintings all of characters of vaginas. Like where it was just a thing I was into and my wife was okay with it. She'd walk in and there's like and I'm like, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. I'm just doing the painting and then the girl leaves and then I'm like, it inspires me to draw a face. And I'm like, this one's like, Mon chéri. I just see a little mustache.
Yeah.
I wax it, wax the tip. I'm like, oh, this vagina is such a hipster. It's a male feminist.
Well, the monocle kind of gave it away.
Oh
Is there like a
my
bowl
God.
cut version of this?
All right.
A mullet.
Dude.
Girls should get creative.
Cornrows.
Here's a little trick for just girls or dudes, whatever, whoever wants to play along. if women, whatever way they want to shave, then it becomes kind of a mustache on you when you're looking up at them. And so I one time, this was the worst joke, but it cracks me up still to this day. It's probably like 15 years old at this point. But one time, my wife, she was all cleaned up wherever, and I was down on her.
No details.
And I was down, and I'll have to tell you is what I said to her, and you'll just kind of get the picture of what I looked up at her, and I just went, "Hail Hitler!" She was like, "What?"
Oh my god, Patch.
But I just had like a small little mustache. So stupid.
Oh my god.
So stupid. So it worked so well and was such a funny joke that either dudes could use that in the future, just save it in the back of your brain,
Got it.
or ladies, you can use it and just shave, and next time be
Say,
like,
"Hi,
go
Hitler."
easy. If he's going,
Go ham.
yeah, 999.
That would be a fun one to do on like a first date too, or like a first time hookup.
Oh my
You'd be
God.
like, oh my God, that's my dream girl.
Just to break the ice. You
That's
know?
a nice
Great
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
Might weird somebody the fuck out.
Just to break the ice. But you could do a Fu Manchu. You could do anything. You don't have to go with the Hitler. There's so many styles.
Yeah.
my God.
Fu Manchu. Oh, Confucius. Say.
Holy shit.
Confucius say. Men who stand on toilet high on pot. Okay.
Shit.
Get it together.
Oh, yeah.
I like how
We don't
Abby
need to.
didn't play any of that.
Well, that's
She
usually
just
what I
sat
lean into,
stoic.
but I felt like
She's gonna.
the magic wasn't there. It was you guys being funny
Later,
instead, so I had to stop.
When
or I had
Abby
to let you
repeats
guys
that to herself in the bathroom, she's gonna come back with jokes.
I'm gonna have a
Honestly,
billion.
I
Thinking
think
about- exactly.
I think I'm getting it because like I haven't had any in a long time. So it's just like entertaining, you know? It's just like go keep coming with the pussy jokes. Keep coming with the pussy jokes.
Oh, I got no problem with the pussy jokes. I just
Mhm.
feel like, yeah, normally that is totally up my alley.
Yeah. We need a
Damn
mic
it.
check. We
I'm
need a
just not
mic
feeling
check.
it tonight.
Abby needs a mic check.
Oh God. Fuck yeah.
That was
Fuck.
good. Yep, you're coming in loud and clear. You're
Okay.
coming in loud and clear.
Perfect.
Okay. Back to
I-
OJ. All right, what were you gonna say?
Orange
Gordy?
juice. Orange juice.
Dude, I worked in a t-shirt shop when it was going on, and my boss like pulled he was this loony old guy that I loved him. He was crazy. Smacked his head on a sprinkler, and he was a nutbag. He fired me probably 4 times. Anyway,
He
this
fired
guy-
you 4 times?
Yeah, but he was obsessed with the fucking OJ trial. Like he brought a TV in and we made everybody listen to it, and we're like, "Fuck, dude, just put the music back on." It was that job. It was screen printing.
I was pretty young when that happened, honestly. When did it happen? What year?
1992,
2?
I think.
Yeah, I was like 7,
Yeah.
6 or 7.
You a little baby.
You were just a wee baby.
I think this was like 8th grade for me, which would have been, I don't know, like 11 or 12 or something. But I the only thing I remember was that the OJ trial verdict was used as a punishment against me, and that I was like acting up in class, or I don't even remember what I was doing. I was being a little shit in class, and the teacher pulled the desk out and put it out in the hall. You remember when they used to do that? And
Yes.
that was like the
Yeah.
ultimate thing, because I was the only
Yes.
person in the entire school out in the hall, and all the other rooms are closed, and like I wasn't allowed to like peek in or anything, and I just like heard, commotion as it was being called, and I still resent just academia as a whole for making me miss out on like that shared trauma.
Same. I don't think it was news for the 7-year-olds. I just
I
remember the
had
whole glove thing.
trauma. Shared it with Abby a little last night during the OJ trial. What I remember, my parents, I had this for my I was 15, so for my 15th birthday, my parents got me a German Shepherd, and I had this dog for a few weeks. My parents were always out of the country, and then they would just come in. They would be gone for a few weeks and come in, and I would just be, we had a nanny that lived in an apartment. This was a weird time in my life. That sounds like I had a whole different upbringing than I had. But so the nanny was there. My parents come back in town. They're like, oh, we'll let Chaney's dog out. My mom's like, I'll let her dog out, let her sleep. I just raised this dog for 3 weeks by myself, this puppy. My mom lets my dog out, and it drowns in the pool. My puppy. So I had this like elite person trauma of raising something for 3 weeks as my youth, and then my mom killed it. Even though she didn't, and I never ever resented her. I really like kind of maybe shoved it so far down. It was like trauma that I couldn't. But here's the weird part. So my dad comes to me, instead of grieving it and mourning it and going through this death like a kid should. My mom was so upset about it because I was so upset. So my dad just wanted to throw money at it. So he's like, we're going to go get you a new dog today. My dog just died a few hours ago.
Yeah, I don't want a new dog.
I don't want a
my
new dog. And he's like, I don't want a dog. We're going to go get a dog. So we drove to the breeder, and I had to sit on a floor with puppies crawling on me and pick out one of the dogs to bring home. And so I brought home this dog that I just called Fat Man. I didn't really love this dog for a while. I kind of resented this dog, but it was still my dog. And then he popped my waterbed one day, but his name on his papers was obstructing
You had a
justice.
waterbed?
Yeah.
You
Which
freak.
is the worst thing to have sex on.
Yeah,
the worst. The
Waterbeds
worst.
suck.
Yeah, and my waterbed sex was with a boy. It was not good for him. For him. It wasn't even his fault.
But did water beds ruin
rock
boys,
the
or did
boat.
boys ruin water beds?
I know. I just felt bad for him. We ruined it for each other. I feel like the guy I lost my virginity to might be a homosexual, so I can't even say his name because I'm unsure of it.
The waterbed made you both gay?
Yeah, I did. The waterbed made us homos. And I always think back to him too, because I'm like, dang, he was so well hung. Even guys in my later days, I'm like, God could have gone easier on me and given me a less hung
Hey.
dude
First
for my
time, no
first
shit.
time. It made
Damn.
me really like have a skewed view of, and most of the guys that I just gather that are in nudist colonies aren't small. Like guys that are like, hey, I want to be a nudist, typically are comfortably hung guys. So I just had a skewed idea of the size of penises for such a long time in my life. You hear a
You ever
cricket?
actually say the words like, "Is that it?"
The first time, honestly, that I ever was like, okay, I'm hooking up with this guy, like him, and maybe like I'm like 18 at that point. I really thought like, God, he is so small. But now looking back, he wasn't. I was just like,
You didn't know.
I didn't know, and
Yeah.
he was just fine. And I was always in my head like, he's probably so insecure. Like I was putting stuff on him that he had no reason to have. He was
Like,
fine.
sloop. Here you go.
He was fine. I know I can't even say his name now. Shout out
No.
to no.
No, go ahead.
Shout out to homeboy. I just want you to know you didn't
You
have
got a
small
big dick.
No, it wasn't big. It wasn't big.
It was good.
But you were fine.
Mm.
Shout out, you're adequate.
Yeah, shout out. So so I got another dog. And that dog's name was OJ. Obstructing
Oh.
No
justice.
way.
Yeah, because this
Interesting.
whole chase was happening. So it was like imprinted in my brain of like that moment in
Was
time.
this during the summer? Do you guys remember? You would probably remember the most because your dog dying.
I don't know. It was Florida, and it was the pool.
This summer.
Like that was such
Okay.
a.
Because I just feel like the whole trial ruined daytime TV for like a whole week, and I feel like I was because I would watch soap operas when I was like the kid in summertime for 3 months, and then have to spend the other rest of the year not watching it. But I loved watching soap operas in the summer, so I feel like it was like all on daytime TV the whole time.
I swear that the whole like month after the big Bronco chase, there was it was like USA or something. One of the big networks just played The Getaway on a loop over and over again. And now I can't ever think about the Bronco chase without thinking about the Christian Slater movie Getaway.
Wait, what's that? Getaway.
Because it's like a very similar premise where they've got this iconic scene where they're driving down the highway and it's just like 40 cops behind them for like a long stretch of it.
I don't know this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's like 94 or something.
The Getaway.
Bootsy's killing the comments and killing it with the jokes in the chat.
Thanks for not saying my name. That was good, bro. That was good.
I was trying to find the picture of the Bronco with all the cop cars behind it. Like this was real life and all the cops in Los Angeles, and it just became like a normal thing that we just started to watch cop chases like that too.
1972.
That was an older one.
Oh, 1991.
Yeah, the one with Christian Slater.
Christian Slater. 1994. Yeah. And Alec Baldwin?
God, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Alec friggin' Baldwin.
The Getaway, right? The Getaway?
The Getaway.
I'm so glad this came up.
So it's Kim Basinger.
That's right. Yeah, that's the one.
Alec Baldwin, Michael Madison, Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, I remember that
James
movie.
Was it Baldwin and not Christian Slater?
It was Alec Baldwin, not Christian Slater. Now I know what movie it is. Now I know he goes to Florida. It's like a big Florida movie.
Yeah, 1994.
He's in Miami, I think, at the beginning of it.
He look all right. He
looks sexy in it.
Yeah,
I'm glad Alec Baldwin came up right now because we're going to loop this back around. So, if they want to do something to us, the Bronco, the same day that OJ dies, the Bronco recalls like tens of thousands of Broncos, and like something's weird's wrong with it. Abby and I were discussing last night that could they recall orange juice? Are they going to put something bad on the timeline? Because they don't just want to take out all of our eggs and food plants. They're going to also want to take out all of our juices and things like that, anything healthy. So we're like, is something in the timeline going to be like the juice is loose? So then Abby was saying, oh, the juice is loose. The juice is loose. And then she was like, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice is loose.
And the juice is loose. Beetlejuice is coming out. The next one, like any day now, which is Alec Baldwin ruined it because he had to go and kill a Russian spy. And so now we can't have him and Gina Davis properly in Beetlejuice.
Not even that. The Beetlejuice star and everyone talking about it.
I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
Yeah.
But I wasn't done. So then they're also I just got off on the tangent because I really am upset that Beetlejuice the movie is ruined because Alec Baldwin had to go and kill the Russian spy. But Beetlejuice is the one that if it blows up in the sky, it's supposed to be the second sun. It's supposed to look like a second sun in our sky for a few days. And then everybody's been posting all that stuff that they've been seeing other moons or other suns in the sky. And I'm like, is this real? I don't even know what's real anymore.
Dude.
I don't even know.
Well, it says, it emits almost 7,000 or 7,500 times as much energy as the sun. The combination of the size and temperature tells astronomers that the star is a kind of star called a red supergiant. Red supergiants are stars that are close to the end of their life.
Bullshit.
Allegedly.
Would you call it a red super nebula?
Nebula.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Is Beetlejuice a clown? Is that a clown Nephilim?
Well,
is that all just a story of the clown Nephilim again?
Well, when you think about it, Beetlejuice. If you say 3 times, it'll appear. So it's just like, this whole talk of Beetlejuice, maybe it is going to appear, and it is this new sun that's coming into our
What does
reality.
that maybe
The
have
new
to do with
disc.
necromancy, though? The whole because he's dead, like, he's rotted and moldy, like, and then you say his name 3 times and he's
Correct.
Oh no!
reanimated?
Hmm.
That was good. I was looking for you, man.
Is,
We're
is
boys,
it the
fun
same
party.
magic as Bloody Mary?
party.
Like saying Bloody Mary 3 times?
Yeah, and
Bloody
she'll
Mary,
appear. So it's like
Candyman.
Beetlejuice,
Candyman.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Maybe it'll appear, and that's our new sun, and it's a new matrix, a new program, and it's the new golden
Maybe
era.
all say it at the same time. Ready?
We've come
1.
for your daughter,
I don't
Chuck.
know what we're saying. I
What
don't
were
want to
we
say the
saying?
wrong
Beetlejuice.
thing.
Wait, what?
Saying
I'm
Beetlejuice.
giving you beats of
Hey!
sound mind. The man next to me is the one I want. You ask me, I'm answering. Yes, I love that man of mine.
Oh,
You
I
got
wish
it
I could say
memorized.
that. I can't say that
He
yet. I
sounded
wish I
just
could
like
say that.
Winona Ryder, too.
That's the
But
vows, right? At the very
Yeah.
end.
When he's
I want to say that. Fucking A. That's my man.
So in the Beetlejuice,
Fucking say
Beetlejuice,
that.
Beetlejuice way, if Beetlegeist, the bioexorcist, was a second sun, if it were to blow up and become a second sun in our sky, or somehow the new sun, like let's say these lights, let's philosophize the lights as we know them now. We don't really know anything, and something just all of a sudden appears, and now we're under a new sun, or like Layla says, like some new timeline. If we've been under another one before this, if there's not only 2, then we get into the 3-body problem.
I love that show.
I can't.
Layla, I knew you were gonna.
it's good.
God, you guys got to watch it. That's all I
I
gotta
haven't
say.
seen it yet.
Oh
Haven't seen it
man,
yet either.
I can't
Bioexorcist
wait.
of it
Thomas,
all, though. And how does that fit into the star? The
the
bioexorcist, like
what?
life.
Cool.
I want to go
Bioexorcist.
back to the
So
bioexorcist to it, but I want to tell Paranoid American and Gordy, whatever it is, an appropriate amount of time for you guys to at least take in the first 3 episodes so you have a concept of
Binge watch that shit
like
all day.
Is it
yes,
on Netflix or something?
Netflix. In the next week, 2 weeks, but I would like to, even if we just are able to talk about it, but I don't want to give anything away.
Nope.
So people in the audience too, if you need to find 3-Body Problem on Netflix, borrow someone's code or just get it for a month
Stupid.
and binge watch a bunch of stuff. But
it's only
3-Body
$6.99
Problem.
now with ads.
Yeah, OA. To me, it's Westworld meets the OA, but they add something to a layer to what I just said that it like took my brain to another place. And I will
Yeah.
say there's at least 2 filters in this show that gave my brain 2 new filters of philosophy. And one
Yes.
of them in this way of like, we always think of a second sun, a binary star system, but never do we conceptualize 3 suns or 4 suns. And how, if we're going to philosophize in the idea of gravity, what would happen in a star system if we were in a binary star system? You almost do that figure 8 where everything might go very smooth. You might have very cold years, ice ages, while you're in the in-betweens and far away, but then you might have hot times when you're in between both suns. But other than that, everything would be very smooth. If there was a triple star system and you had to do like a circle around it, you would have times that you had no gravity on your planet.
Yeah.
You would have times that you would have no moisture on your planet. You would have times that you would have all ice and no one could even live outside because the temperatures were unthinkable because you were so far away from every star system.
Yeah.
And so what it would do to you as a civilization, with maybe in that Hopi Indian prophecy way of, would you go in the ground? Would your civilization, if you knew it was coming, be able to survive? And maybe you wouldn't want everyone to come with you every time, or
Yeah.
maybe you would want to save all your people every time. And what kind of ruler would you be, or leader would you be? Or maybe you'd be a nihilist and you'd be like, fuck this entire thing. And so it's just that idea of, we always talk about a binary star system or even one, but once you conceptualize and philosophize that we are saying that these big bodies give gravity, and each one of these big bodies in the planet have its own gravity and its own forces that pull, then that sun wants everything. It holds all the planets around it. It's pulling them in just enough. They're eventually going to get close until it blows up and eats them. But there might be more than one of those, or could one get big enough that it takes our gravity instead of our sun having our gravity?
Not even that, Chaney. It's like if they want to get biblical with it, they even talk about it. We talked about it on the last episode that we did on when was it? Sunday? The whole like first day there was night and day, and then on the fourth day they created the moon and the sun. So there has to be a multi-body system. And someone said brought up flat earth. This has nothing to do with flat earth. We don't even know if it's flat. We don't know what's underneath. We don't know exactly what is above. We don't know the exact, depiction of what this realm could be. So it could be 3 moons, 4 moons, 5 moons. We
It could
don't.
literally be the tree in the Norse mythology of it all, with all the
Yeah,
realms being held up and the serpent trying to eat it.
absolutely. So it's like, yeah, flat earth, I get their theory, cool, but it's more than that. Way more than that. And the 3-body problems, man, it took me onto another level of like reality. Like it made me like erase literally everything that I was taught from my brain and just like reset my brain. Okay, let me learn everything again. And I've done that many times before, but this time it's like, Layla, reset your brain. Everything is conditioned. No one else is authentic right now. Everyone is a copycat regurgitating shit. So find out the truth. Ask truth and you will get it. And we're getting it slowly, but I'm pretty sure there's only going to be 2 like seasons of this, and then they're going to discontinue it like the fucking OA. Fucking annoying.
I bet you that's in the hadiths. Any show that's good, cancel it after 2 seasons.
Cancel it. Drink your camel urine.
Did you guys ever watch The Naked Gun?
I love
Yeah.
the Naked Gun. I was going to bring that up.
I gotta see it. Hold on.
Yeah.
The Naked Gun 2.5.
I feel like The Naked Gun, right out in the open, is one of the biggest. How you guys were like, this the Capricorn one, you were like, this is the first movie that ever said the moon landing was fake. I feel like The Naked Gun is the first thing that's like, here's the CIA and MK Ultra, and we want to kill the queen. Like it's like we have so many celebrities that are MK Ultra'd, and even sports players that are so MK Ultra that they don't even know it. And they've played along this whole time, but we have keywords and key slogans and things we can just put up on that baseball screen that when they see it, it's been implanted there the whole time. So Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, he all of a sudden sees the thing and he just starts walking. I must kill the queen. I must kill the queen. And it's kind of, I will tell you guys, it's one of the reasons Queen Elizabeth was the first person I killed in a spell, is because like in my Mr. October Scorpion way, I thought that what a perfect kill, the Reggie Jackson of it all, like Naked Gun. I must kill the queen. Like it's implanted in my brain, in my spell of it, but I just think it's so curious because OJ's in that.
Yeah, not only that, they use fucking comedy as the main tool of showing you truth, but like ha 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 in your face, ha ha ha. It's all a joke, but no. A lot of the jokes on us, but the truth is they're showing us the truth, and mainly through the comedy stream, the comedy line. It's like, that's hilarious.
Leslie Nielsen in particular was like such a magical comedian because he was a very serious actor, and he took the Naked Gun roles and he played it like it was the most serious role ever, and that's what made the whole damn thing funny. And I don't know if there's really been anyone that really nailed that same thing. Maybe Mr. Bean in a way, but that's the British version. That's not as good as the American version.
Yeah, the American version is funnier.
Leslie Nielsen.
It's always funnier in American.
Airplane, stop yourself. Airplane is so next level.
Is so great.
Airplane.
I just watched it.
Leslie Nielsen. That's where he first. Airplane is so good. Like, but right in Airplane, tons of pedophilia jokes right out in the open.
Out in the open. Oh my god.
Oh, like, that movie too. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, all those movies have all that shit in plain sight. Yeah.
You ever been in Turkish prison?
Billy? Cut me some slack, Jack. Mama didn't raise no dummy.
I thought of you when I watched it when that scene came on.
Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive. It's so stupid, but it holds up. But so
It
does Naked Gun.
does.
It's so stupid. So you
I
you
need to
kids
watch
out
Naked Gun
there,
again.
What's
you
that
kids
comedian?
out there with your old moist muffs need to watch some Naked Gun and some Airplane.
What's that comedian that was
Moist
a
muffs or dry
conspiracy
muff?
comedian? That was
Moist
really.
muffs. I said you kids out there with your moist
Ah,
muffs.
oh, okay.
What was that comedian? Who was very into a conspiracy, and he died. Old man, ponytail.
George Carlin.
Oh, yeah,
George
Yeah.
Carlin?
Yeah, he was one of them. Like ha 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 ha. He would spit a lot of truth, and then finally he's like, "Fuck this comedic part. Let me just spit the truth," and then pop, gone.
Bill Hicks is very similar in that way too, where he would tell jokes and then he would just go on like a 40-minute political rant, and then he would get back to jokes again.
Yeah, Bill Hicks is who again?
Alex Jones.
Yeah.
I don't think that one either.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
believe
think
that
that one
either.
either.
I'm not.
Could be a
convinced.
possibility.
I don't.
You
Well,
know?
so my theory on this is that I've actually seen the video clip of Alex Jones opening for Doug Stanhope in Austin long time ago, like early
Oh, then never
2000s.
mind. Yeah.
And it was the worst opener you could ever imagine if you were a comedian, because usually the opener is supposed to like warm the crowd up, get them kind of like chuckling a little bit, and then you come out. But Alex Jones just goes out on the stage and he's just like, like the elite are gonna come and kill all of you, and it turns into like a really sour environment. And there's people that are heckling him immediately, like, "We came here to have a good time," and he like starts picking fights with people in the crowd. So then Doug Stanhope comes up, and it's kind of like, "Thanks for warming him up for me, Alex." And the point though is that if you
Terrible
can
job.
if you could be like a great comedian, but then also just pretend that you're the worst comedian, that's like such a incredible range of acting that
Yeah.
I don't necessarily give Alex Jones that much credit. I would give Bill Hicks that much credit, but not AJ.
Hmm.
You think it's Andy Kaufman?
I was
well, I'm
thinking
saying,
Andy
I
Kaufman.
don't think that's like an insult to Andy Kaufman.
Do you think, Chaney?
What?
Do you think it's Andy Kaufman? You think he's character?
Andy Kaufman, he would be more of a guy that somehow didn't play along, but in a way, he's the best MK Ultra. Like,
Yeah.
if you can, like the Mighty Mouse skit on Saturday Night Live, if they were gonna play along and pretend that was funny, they would pretend any song you said was number one was the best song. That was Andy Kaufman to me. Like, if everybody was pretending it was funny, then just so they weren't the last one to get the joke, then we could sell them anything. And that's kind of what I think Andy Kaufman was. I watch him and I love comedy. I understand where people are like, he just wanted to be funny to himself. It was like, haha, because it was, but there's something, the way he crossed over into wrestling, the way he went on David Letterman, the way he crossed over into TV show playing a character, the way he played another character that everybody allowed to exist off air, like wearing the mask all the time and doing, which is still like
Tony, I can't remember his last
Little
name.
bitch.
yeah, like Tony, like blah blah blah, and they let this like whole thing, and there was even sightings of that guy after his death, like, which is kind of funny, like to like go that deep with your joke, but it's just too many other people played along with Andy.
I agree.
The wrestling thing I think was genius though. Like even now looking back at it, like the whole like I will wrestle any woman on this planet. Like it was such a funny.
Well, he didn't
premise.
just do women. He also fought he fought a dude too, like where he
Yeah.
had this long running gig with a dude, and then his next thing in wrestling was where I'll fight any women can't fight, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. I'll get in the ring with any woman for this amount of time, and they need to be cooking my sandwich.
No, I just watched WrestleMania the other day, and I'm like, I saw the women's match, and I'm like,
He hasn't
I
dealt
should
with a
totally
woman who
do
sees
this.
red. When
Well,
a
that was
woman
the whole
sees red,
joke, though. That was the joke. Is that
You're
of
dead.
course you could get your ass kicked by a woman. Like he wasn't like particularly in great shape, but the joke was that like, look at me, I'm a schlub and I can take on anyone. Like it's just this, it's a ridiculous premise that's just like rage baiting on Twitter, but he was doing it in real life.
But it's also kind of like really important for right now. He was like, I'm a schlub off the couch and I can beat 99% of women on the planet. Like that is a really important, like, this is why men cannot swim with us just because they decide to cut their penis off or change their pronoun. This is why, because no joke, just a lot of schlubs off the couch could just man, and like not even Abby looking all built. Fucking Thomas and Gordy could just kill her with one hand.
For real.
I haven't seen Gordy in person,
don't
but I
know
know
about that.
Thomas can. Bruh.
Most men can. Most men have
Bruh,
strength
Thomas.
that women don't understand, and they have to keep it at bay
Just
sometimes.
walking in a room, you'd like nobody want to fuck with Thomas.
But I can hip thrust like 500 pounds, y'all. So if you sit on top of me, I can get your ass off. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Let a woman see red. That's it. She only
I got
has to see
strong ass
red.
legs.
I don't think you could. I think I could. I could would be
I'd
able to
kill
get double underhooks. You wouldn't be able to
Oh,
get me.
you would kick my ass, Chaney. I know this.
I would be able. But I just
No
think in
doubt.
my jujitsu brain, like, Abby wouldn't be able to get me off.
I can buck you off my
And Abby's
hip.
little. Like this is the like in IRL. Like
I've
Abby
am the
is
small one, huh?
little.
I've
Mhm.
had a few fights in my life, and when I see red,
Had those fights.
that's it. I only see red. That's it. That's all I can say.
Is that just the blood that's squirting out of your
No, it's something in my blood that's just like I want to fucking kill you, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to like make sure you go down. That's it. Like no gray area. It's either very nice, very dark, and if you get me on that side, bro, it's done. Like, yeah, it's done. I may look nice, but no. I may look like I can't harm a bug, but no, I will.
No, everybody
hood.
believes it.
The hood taught me, bro. That's all I could say. When you grow up in the hood, it's a whole different story. You know?
Do you guys associate any other colors with specific emotions?
That's a good question.
I've heard just this week that Planet Fitness has a whole entire thing designed because yellow makes you hungry and purple makes you lazy. And so their whole business model is made so you'll just sign up for the year because it's like $10, $12 a month, 15, like a Netflix, where if it comes out of your account every month, you don't even notice it anymore. But their business model's made for you not to go.
Well,
Bloods
and
red.
you can't because you can't cancel your membership allegedly to Planet Fitness unless you're in person. So if you're not going, you're never going to cancel your membership.
That's like every
Bloods
gym.
red, Crips blue, Latin
I just
Kings
signed up for my second gym
yellow and
membership
blue,
today. and
yellow
it's
and
like-
black.
It's bi-weekly. I pay for my gym membership now bi-weekly. I'm like, who fucking does that? But
They choose
What
his
is
colors
bi-weekly anymore? I don't even know. Is that twice a week or twice a month?
Every other week.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So really, instead of every month, it's like you're paying an extra month, right? Like, well, an extra 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd be like, new gym. I had to start. That's where I start thinking how much, and I'd be like, I have to get this equipment.
Well, I'm thinking commute times, and then this, like, when I travel, I can use any other gyms in the world, so it'll work.
Before it was flags, and everyone had their flag to represent their gang or their whatever they called it back in the day. Their what did the kingdoms call them? Their troops or whatever. But now they have gangs, and they all represent something. Red, Bloods, Crips, blue, Latin Kings, red and yellow and black. ABI, red and black. That's just the Albanian gang that they had back in the day. So, like, imagine all the other gangs. M13, what's their color? Or do they go by a flag?
Both. If I'm just thinking of bike gangs, like they have colors and flags.
Yeah.
And like they're emblems and stuff are all owned and trademarked.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the
tigers,
Alphabet
lions.
Army. They own all the colors now.
Fucking
They
annoying.
do.
They need to go down, bro. There's like how many billions of us? Come on, let's go. Let's get gangsta. I'm ready. Like I'm tired of them.
You know
I'm
what's
tired.
wild though is that
Huh.
the way that you would take that down is just ignoring or just denying the existence of, and it ceases. It's like Tinkerbell. Like if you just stop clapping, it just ceases to exist.
It's holding the pendulum instead
But
of
when they're
pushing it one way or
clapping at
another.
you, you don't clap back. No clapping back.
No, clap back.
It
When
pushes
girls-
it, keeps feeding it energy. It's looshing you.
My favorite is if I watch girls get in a fight with each other and one of them starts clapping.
In the it's always in the face too.
Yeah,
It's like with
in.
every word.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm in. I'm like, I don't know these people. I'm not a rubbernecker on the highway.
That's
But if a girl
intimidating.
starts clapping at another or a
Yeah,
boyfriend, if
that's
she's
the
like,
thing.
who's on your phone? Who's on your phone? I'm in. I'm like, I can't stop watching these people.
I want to know where that started. Did someone
What
someone
is
not paying
that?
attention, and then all of a sudden
my
they were like,
God.
"If I clap,
Blah.
it
Oh my
works,"
God.
and then all of a sudden there was like a cheat code.
It's
Yeah.
moms.
Clap on,
Moms
clap
do
off.
that, man.
Probably because if somebody's screaming in my face, I won't make
God,
eye
it's
contact.
'cause
I'm the
you're-
person who's like,
it's because your kid is zoning out, and you're like, "Hey, smack, smack, smack."
Clap on, clap off, like the clapper.
Oh, what?
Remember the lady in the Clapper commercial? I don't know if you guys remember the Clapper commercial, but this lady looked like she was dead as a doornail in bed. And then all of a
Clap
sudden,
on.
she was
Tick,
like, she sits up, but she sits up abruptly and fast. And the way she claps is like the laziest, sloppy pussy clap. She's like,
I remember.
like I
remember
just
seeing
remember
what
being
you're
a
talking
kid,
about.
like watching that old
I remember
woman.
doing it.
it's like
a
the same
weird
old woman in
version.
the "I'm falling and I can't get up" commercial too.
I
It's like
want
the
to
same
find the
era.
Clapper
It's like-
commercial.
I was like,
Maybe
"Oh,
the magic
even-
is the
even a-
number of claps. Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, this is so great. That
I don't know if
Oh
it's just
my God.
I mean, I'm sure it's just nostalgia, but it feels like there was something magical
fine.
about seeing a Clapper commercial followed by a Chia Pet, followed by like the I'm falling and I can't get up.
Yeah, there was
Like
a.
you would see those constantly all in a row.
I know.
Play it, Chaney.
They're burned in your memory.
Yeah, we were programmed
The clapper.
The clapper.
Jello pudding pop.
Clap
Clap
that ass.
on.
Pop, pop, pop,
Clap off.
Y'all, this
Clap on,
could be
clap
the
off.
reason that we're all quote unquote woke now. It could be the
The thing that
I'm like
it was
watch,
the
let's
tree.
from the
Shut
makers
up,
of the
Chia
He
Chia
had a
Pet.
Chia
Clap.
Pet.
Oh my God!
On the freaking
It's all
commercial.
In the
illusion.
commercial.
Somebody clapped, and it was all illusion.
Okay, let's see. Here comes the last lady.
I'm enlightened now.
No, not her. Oh, that was a clapper that turned
Oh
itself
my
off.
God, pedophile.
Someone
What? What?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, she had a
it's-
clapper. Oh, it's her.
It's the
Look
lady
at
who
her
followed and
man.
can't get up. I bet it's the same lady.
She had the most mad hands though. Look at her lazy hands. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Shots
it's the
fired.
hands.
She's probably dead right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah,
didn't
'cause she
make
found
it.
she couldn't get up.
Oh, she's been dead for.
She didn't even,
Rest in peace,
She
old
might
lady.
not have got to see the OJ chase.
Yeah.
She
I
never
can't
woke
believe
wow,
the
no
Chia Pet
sham
commercial
wow.
was in the background. Right after you said that.
The sham
So
wow.
They never sham wow. That lady did not make it to the sham wow.
I'm dying. Oh, that commercial is great. The sham wow. Ultimate commercial.
The best Time Life books, the Mysteries of the Unknown Time Life books, where it was
Absolutely.
like, have you ever thought of someone
Mhm.
and then your phone rang and it was them?
Yep.
Mysteries of the Unknown.
That's been happening a lot lately. Not just with me, just the thought of a person. Oh, ding, ding. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I did not try to conjure you. I just thought about you for like a split second. And then bring. It's been happening to a lot of people, and they've been because they know I'm conspiracy like that. They're like, what do you think that means? I'm like, I have no idea. Either you're like literally manifesting your thoughts, or it's just a coincidence. So pick
No,
one.
it wouldn't be a coincidence the other way. It would be the other way. It would be like not clairvoyance, but something similar.
Clairaudient.
Claircognition.
Claircognizant.
Yeah, the one where
Claire.
claircognizant.
Cognizant?
No, claircognizant.
Cognizant.
Cognizant. Claircognizant. There we go.
That one.
We can enunciate. I was trying to get it.
I had a hard-boiled egg in my mouth.
Man,
I'm about to go
drink.
make steak and
Look,
eggs.
look at me here. Look at I got hair. I got a bunch of moths.
And I got my Celtic salt.
My
The best.
Dude.
I like it. I put it on my
Hey,
eggs.
can I tell you? I put this in a chat once, but have you guys had a problem getting Celtic salt?
Celtic salt? What, like it comes from the Celts?
The Celtic sea salt, yeah.
Any of the Celtic sea
gray.
salts.
The best.
It's all
What is it,
back-
like alcoholic?
No.
Well,
it's
if you want to
sweet.
shit your brains out in the morning, just with your water and just drink a shitload of it and add a whole shitload of it, and you'll just shit your brains out. Welcome to the Golden Shit Club.
You're welcome.
It's the truth. I'm living proof of that.
Magnesium in it.
First thing in the
breastfed
morning.
babies, their shit is like a golden color. It's yellow.
Yeah, we actually, like, y'all know, we all have gold in our shit, in our hair, in our, probably even our urine. Who knows? I don't know. I don't test it.
What did you just say, Abby?
Breastfed babies, that their shit is actually like yellow.
Yeah,
it's
it's
golden
like a-
yellow.
Mm-hmm.
It made me think of panda bears.
Panda.
God, I can almost smell it just from you describing it.
It doesn't
About the
smell
baby
like
poop?
shit though. That's the weird thing. Like it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like. Yeah,
assume
like a
it's more
bottle fed
like
baby's
caramel.
poop
Smells
smells like
sour
poop. It smells
almost.
like adult poop. Yeah, it just smells a little bit like
sour.
Yeah, it doesn't smell foul. It just smells.
Mm-hmm.
Just has the odor.
Is this like a delicacy in some cultures?
The hadiths. Fuck your hadiths. All right.
I think it just kind of goes to show though that like the food that you eat definitely like the smell. Maybe the smell of your shit indicates like you need to change your diet.
I like how
You
there's
know?
a good chance that Layla's like, fuck your hotties. And we all sit around her and we're like, we have no idea the weight. And we're just like, yeah, they sound shitty.
They are shitty.
I just imagine there's at least
You
one
go,
in the
girl. We got
chat,
your back.
and you're just like, I don't know why Layla keeps calling out hadiths. Like I didn't
Because
do
I'm going to
anything.
call it out. I'm going to be that bitch. I'm going to be that fucking Jezebel. Call me whatever fucking name in the book you want to call me, because I'm going to call you motherfuckers out. You fucking calling yourselves, oh, monotheists, you fucking pagans, you fucking, you sheep. I'm going to call you out. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm sick of it. Like, disgusted. But, let them be in their hypnosis.
The
Go
word
ahead.
hadith sounds like a dry pussy.
It does. Hadith.
Like if I were like, yeah, it sounds like I'm going to say, it sounds like I'd be like, hey, my name is Hadith.
I'm here to man. I don't
The
wanna
predator
get into it.
coughing powder.
Yeah, the pedophile mentality. Talking about Muhammad kissing or sucking a tongue of somebody, some little kid or something, and then eating the camel shit and urine. Like, y'all are fucking sick, y'all. Like, literally, enjoy your fucking hadiths. Enjoy them.
Didn't the Pope suck some kid?
Layla turns off her
Yeah,
camera. She drops her mic and it's just
Bruh.
two sons.
Doesn't the Pope wear human leather on his feet?
Yeah,
Red shoes. The Red Shoe Club.
y'all. They
He's
are
the
praying
president of the Red Shoe Club.
at a place called Mecca. Okay. Mecca, before it was even Mecca, was all desert. Nothing there. No ancient anything, just complete pure desert. But the real Mecca, you want to know, is in Petra, Abraham's temple. It's there. It's still standing.
Dude.
The cave of Hira, where Muhammad received revelation from the angel Gabriel, is there in Petra. The three daughters of Allah, over there in Petra. The black clay is over there in Petra. Petra is a fucking anomaly, and y'all want to discredit it. But it's in the Quran, the elephant people. All the mountains are petrified elephant skulls and skulls of giants. It's all petrified fucking everything. Giraffes, fucking dragons, you name it. It's all
Petrad.
It
there.
does look
It
like
is the
petrified.
story of
the way
Petra.
the way it looks.
They ain't gonna wake up. It's all right.
I remember thinking that as a kid. The first time I saw the Petra in a book as a kid, that it looked like it looks like Greek architecture, kind of, but turned into stone. Like that's been like almost sucked into the rock face or something like that. Like it was transformed. But it was like, they say it's like got all these different kinds of architecture that are different influences from all these different cultures. Like each layer has a different kind of meaning, and I can't remember what it is, but I've seen it, and there's a bitchin' documentary and shit. It's probably
Just think about this. Y'all are not supposed to. I'm talking to the Muslim community. Okay.
Look at that.
Y'all talk about not worshiping idols and stones and this and that, but do y'all see yourselves around the Mecca today? And it takes what, $7,000 to $8,000 per person. Do you see not see the prophet there? The prophet there, y'all. Go ahead, continue, you fucking pagans. Go ahead, go ahead. There's so much history here. You guys are not aware, and it's all in the Quran. But you guys don't even want to. You want to go look in the Hadiths 200 years after the prophet died, but you guys want to worship a person who died, which is fucking shirk. You guys are literally fucking sheep. I can't wait till you guys face the Almighty, if that day comes. But
Don't you
see.
believe probably, I mean, this is so obvious to me, way over any structures. The elite would build into the mountains, the armies would build into the mountains, the ancient civilizations would build into the mountains. And I gather that all the entrances of those, there was entrances into those big, huge caverns, or those dumbs, or whatever you want to call them now. And they probably, a lot of them look like this. They probably destroyed a lot of the entrances to these caves and just built other things around it that look more industrial. So we stopped looking like mines.
Search Abraham's temple and put it up. The Kaaba's there. It's still standing. The original Abraham's temple. It's there. The first fucking Kaaba. And these deniers, I'm just like, are y'all all right? Like, I'm not saying that any of what I'm saying is true, but it's like, use your fucking logic. God gave you a brain. Okay. So they created this new structure that is not even aligned with the corners of the Mecca or Kaaba. They're not even aligned properly. If you take a fucking
this one
compass, it's like a square.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like kind of like square, and it's like destroyed. It's called Abraham's temple. That's it. Hold on. Abraham's temple, or search the first Kaaba. Yeah, it's like a square ruin. Yeah, it was there.
Looks like the Temple of Ur too. Is that the same thing? Is Temple of Ur the same as what
This
you're
is
talking
not
about?
the modern one. I gotta find it. Hold on. I'll show you guys. Like, I have people who are friends of mine who went there and went to the cave where Muhammad received the actual Kaaba. It's a square structure. Just the bottom of it still exists. They have an Abrahamic temple tour that goes on to this day, but y'all are not even aware of it. There you go. There it is. That's it. Right there. That's it. The first Kaaba.
Where is that?
In Petra. The first temple. The first whatever. It's there. The Abram temple.
I think that's what it would look like.
That's what it says. Abram. The H is silent. Abram. The Hindu god, or the Hindu religion, the Abrahamic from Brahm.
This
Y'all,
is
it's
blowing
all
my mind
moon
a little bit
worship.
because I'm looking at a picture of the ziggurat of and it looks identical. Like
I'll pull it
brick for brick, it looks identical.
I'm telling you, they are hiding this shit from everybody. Why? I don't know. There's something special about that area in Petra. The three daughters of Allah, they don't even want to talk about it in Islam, but they are the three daughters of Allah, but you don't want to talk about it, right? Why? Why? Because they're female?
It does look so similar. Hold on.
It's like the same damn building.
I'm tired of it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm going to call them all out.
Yeah, even these like watercolor renditions of how it would have looked completed. Like,
I'm telling
Look at
y'all.
this.
what?
This is
The people of the elephant?
This is blowing
Here.
my mind right now.
Here. Oh, where are you getting this information from? From your mother. That's where I'm getting it from. From your mom. From your father. Practice like your father's.
So
Go
this
ahead.
is how they said the ziggurat of would have looked completed.
Well, and there's still ziggurat of still stands, and it looks almost identical to what Layla was just showing us.
Yeah.
There are other ones.
There are
that
a lot
look
of patient people who are trying to like show this information in a nice way and like being patient and of God. But no, I'm not that bitch. I'm gonna call you out like a fucking dirt that you are, like scum sheep that you are.
We need to get some hadiths on here just so there's representation.
Oh, I got you, bro. I got you. Tons of them. Where it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you all right? Are you guys all right? Y'all are not all right. It's okay. But then I asked the question, I'm like, why would y'all think that when you know there's controllers of the fucking world, why would they allow billions of people to follow a system where like billions of people follow as truth? Don't y'all ever think like, hey, maybe this is a lie that they're pushing on billions of people for a purpose? Do you think they're actually teaching you a truth? Nah, I don't see God in a book. You know where I see God? In Thomas and Gordy and Chaney and Abby and all you people and the trees and the air and the earth. That's where I see God. I don't need a book to tell me that God exists.
her!
Burn me, bitch. Go ahead. I dare you. I dare you.
Bring it,
tired of
hadiths.
it. I'm tired of it. But you know, people need to learn this lesson and they will learn eventually. And the pathway to heaven is a narrow one. And most of y'all are not there. I'm talking about the Islamic community, not everybody else, but you know, it's okay.
Is there an eye of a needle in Islam?
Mushriks. Huh?
Is there an eye of a needle in Islam?
Eye of a needle.
Yeah, like there's an eye of a needle in like
The rich
Kemetic
man.
and in Egyptian and
What does that
Christian.
mean, though?
Well,
I have a needle.
It's a whole. Some people say it's a real place, and people like had a camel, and they had to, you know, your camel couldn't fit through this certain door. You had to unload it, and so there's actual real place called an eye of a needle. But other people think it was like a heavenly thing where it's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to fit into heaven.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But like someone, Hector, blessed be Muhammad, y'all are even worshiping an idol. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be following God, right? But you put a human being who passed away, God, you know, peace be upon him. But what are y'all doing? Y'all complain about Christians following Jesus and his way, but then y'all follow Muhammad and his way, but call Christians fucking mushriks because they follow Jesus. Shut the fuck up.
Wait, what's this? A mushrik?
Mushrik. They call them mushriks.
What does that mean?
Mushriks is like you false followers. Like y'all, like literally false follower. Y'all don't know shit.
It's got a nice ring to it.
I thought it was a
Mushrik.
cereal.
Mushrik.
Mushrik. You mushriks.
Sounds like a Russian.
It's the Arabic
surf
term.
rock.
That's the only word I know for it.
Rus-
But
Sounds
Go
like
ahead.
a surf rock band.
go ahead. Oh, I'm gonna call him
Loose
out.
slick.
I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of it. Like my whole life, I was scared of like following a religion, following a god, following any of this because of these fucking stories I heard. Oh, you're supposed to cover. No, no, you're not. It doesn't say that in the Quran. No, you're not. What are you talking about? But y'all want to hide your women? Go ahead. You want to have 4 wives that you can't afford? Okay, but you want to wait for 72 virgins in the hadiths? You fucking perverts. That's all you're thinking about is fucking getting your dick wet? Shut the fuck up. You ain't godly. No. 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 That getting your dick wet has nothing to do with God. So you're waiting for your they're called what the fuck are they called?
The Cummins?
Hideas.
Is that? I mean,
Little
I don't really
virgins.
know any of the details on this. Is that supposed to be
yeah.
heaven for the virgins too? Is that like supposed to be appeal? Are they telling women out there like, hey, if you explode yourself, you get to be one of 72, side pieces?
I
for
don't know
some
where
dude?
that comes from. That's not even the hadiths. I don't know where that fucking shit comes from. That's not anywhere in Quran or hadiths. I don't know where the fuck that shit comes from. It's either CIA or the Israeli
The virgin thing?
Mossad. Yeah, there's a whole fucking thing that like, oh, if you do well, there's 72 virgins waiting
Yeah.
for you. Are you fucking kidding me? No, wrong. No, wrong. You're so wrong. So wrong.
Think of
go ahead,
how
wait.
just think of the numbers on this. That would be so many 72 virgins for every guy that dies. That is just the numbers are off.
Where are they finding these virgins?
Yeah, dead virgins. Like
Where
Are they
that's what
finding
Thomas
perpetual,
is saying.
or is it like a one-time use kind of deal?
Like, are they telling you if you're really good in your whole life, then when you get to heaven,
What if all
God will
72
give
of them
you
are
a
just
tight
like
ass
Chaney? They're
puss?
like, that's kind of small. We all agree it's kind of small.
Yeah.
My problem is they shit on Christianity.
What
And
about
shut
if
the
it's
fuck up.
all 72, like all women you're not attracted to?
That would be lovely for them.
Like girls that they're virgins not by choice, and they're
oh,
it's
good
like
for them.
you
Female
get there.
incels.
Yeah, you get there and you're like, oh shit.
Enjoy.
It's
Enjoy
like-
your 72 virgins.
Yeah, not even the purse holder. Like you get there and there's girls like butcher than me, like 100
Special ed
pounds
kids.
extra. Like
What if you show up and there's 200 and they're all Pat and they're like, there's 72 virgins in there, but it's up to you to figure out which one's which.
Yeah. There's 1,000 women in the
Right.
room. You have to find the
Get
72
cracking.
virgins. Squid Games.
Y'all,
The worst
do you know
games
what
where's Waldo?
Muslim means? Musliman or Muslim. Do you know what it means? It means to be clean. Clean. A clean person. Just be clean. If you're a clean person, you believe in a higher creator and you believe that there's a way to get to God, that's it. That is it. But y'all want to do moon worship and follow the moon? Go ahead. Go ahead. I had the Muslim community like literally come at me because I posted a Moses post about his horns and the moon worship. They're like, what are you talking about? How could you talk about the prophet Musa like that? I'm like, eat a dick. You guys don't know shit. Like
I'm
literally.
drawing the Prophet Muhammad right now off camera. Just to let you
Do
know.
it. Do it.
I'm totally
Do it.
drawing him.
I will
I'm
do
doing
it. He's a human. He ain't a god. He ain't anything.
Crazy.
He's a human being who received revelation. Like
gonna have to
any
stop this
one of
stream.
you. No, but Chaney, like
I'm so nervous.
seriously,
I'm
Wait,
just kidding.
I gotta dump out
you
first.
probably received like a
Stop
dream.
drawing, Thomas. Stop drawing.
I can't learn if I'm not doing this.
No, but like seriously, think about it. You probably received some kind of revelation, like you can't explain it in a dream or a thought or a state, whatever. We don't know what
Yeah.
Muhammad took or whatever Jesus took, or we know just a fraction of their story. But I've received revelation in my experience. I was saved, quote unquote, in my experience. Like I shouldn't be here today. Like I was in the depths of the depths. So anyone could be a chosen person to receive revelation, but now they're labeled as insane.
Mhm.
Literally, they're indoctrinated in school and they look for these beings who have the the power to receive revelation, and that's why they indoctrinate your children. But that's part of the process. They
Do you
don't
think
want to
OJ
have
got
that.
72 virgins?
Probably in his lifetime, in his actual lifetime.
Do you think
Ugh.
Khloe Kardashian's his kid?
Wait, Khloe Kardashian, what is his kid?
Yeah, do you think that's
Oh yeah.
OJ's kid?
Oh yeah.
Let's pull her up and stare at her for a minute.
I do for some reason. I don't know.
I do too.
It's just something in me is like, yeah, that's your dad, bro. Why you
Like,
lying?
my family, like, who isn't conspiracy theorists, is like, oh, that is OJ's daughter. Even the way we're gonna zoom into some pictures, because this is so Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mixed with Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But it was known that Kris Jenner and OJ would hook up in Beverly Hills. And look at Khloe. Like,
Is OJ full black or is he half white, half black?
Khloe's hair is not that hair. Khloe usually has curly hair. We're gonna find some old pictures of Khloe.
And Khloe, you're abnormally tall, Khloe.
Huge compared to the rest of the family.
Huge.
And I'm gonna pull up a picture of OJ's daughter. That's his daughter that we all met in the courtroom that day, Sydney.
Sister, never knew how much I missed you.
Sydney Simpson, and let's put her next to Khloe Kardashian. I like how I don't even have to spell in because everybody in the world is looking up the same shit now. The searches I used to have to do. The banners I would get, they would be like, this isn't real. Now they can't even keep up with it because my grandma's like, who, OJ's daughter? Hold on, let me pull up this next picture. Sydney Simpson and Khloe Kardashian. Look at OJ's daughter.
Wait. I gotta see this.
And look at Khloe. This is Khloe before all the plastic surgery. And
oh, sister, never knew how much I missed you. Yeah, they are related.
And Khloe is, if you think of who she's had kids with, and if she's OJ's daughter, she is going to have a super athlete as a child, which that's what else I think they do in Hollywood. I think they're breeding machines because you always look back and it's like, oh, their family's always rich. They're always from certain households. Their dad is an investment banker, or they don't have to make it all the way to the big leagues. They can make it to play once and become Brendan Schaub or a UFC fighter. I don't know.
I had Gary Wayne on recently. We were talking about Nephilim, and he brought up this concept that I had never heard before, and it blew my mind about that something happened after the flood that made all of the like Nephilim men somehow sterile or just incapable of producing more Nephilim giants, and it was only the women. And that's what the origin of like the Amazonians kind of came from, was that they all cordoned themselves off and they all basically would kill anyone that came near them, because they were the like most highly coveted resource on the planet. That anyone knew that if you wanted to start your own kingdom or your own country, you needed to have these like giants on your side. And the only way to do that was to go and find women capable of producing giants for you. So maybe this is like one of those, it might not be OJ that's the real secret sauce here. It might be some, the females in the world, in Hollywood and in sports, and it's like they're the ones that are coveted, and it has nothing to do with the guys.
And the Jewish religion, they believe you're not really Jewish unless your mother is Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be from the womb. And so how many other religions or things around the world that it's what your mother is, not the conqueror, not the sword, but the stone.
Well, it always blew my mind too that the conventional like society tracing and patriarchal society, and I know it sounds like I'm a woke, hipster college student, but that in the patriarchal society we trace it through the name. But that is like it's so superficial, because if you lose the records, that's gone forever. But what you've got is the mitochondrial DNA, which is the mother's side DNA. So that's the one that can actually be traced without just being on paper.
And that is what I tried to explain to people, at least for the first decade of 23andMe. They could only search through your mother's 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 mother.
Right.
So everything about 23andMe, they never found your father's heritage because they couldn't follow your Y chromosome through your Y chromosome through your Y chromosome, especially if you were a woman and never had a Y chromosome to begin with, which would just hit your father and then it would just break off. So there is a way that they are just Dos Equis. They need the XX that they have to follow our bloodlines. And that's why they make us fill out those little, like, what do you think you are? Where are your family from? Because they have to put all that shit together now. But really, it's all from the X to the X to the X to the X.
Goes
And
back
if
to
you want to
that
get
post.
that the bloodline thing, first of all, that reminded me of Secretariat, the racehorse, that won the Triple Crown.
Yes, that's what I call myself when I'm the secretary at work.
I love that
But
movie.
when they bred like his sire or whatever to two females, the family that ended up with Secretariat were hoping to get, like, everybody wanted, they had to give the males the first choice, that they bred it with, and it seemed like the other mother was like the better choice, and they ended up with the Secretariat's mother, and got Secretariat from it, and it was like the better, they knew for some reason it was like the better genetic stock, that the mother was the right horse to, and it ended up, I mean, they bet on the right horse.
What does
But
that tell you?
yeah, but then also, if you really wanted to do your genealogy in the past, and it's funny because the Bible is the complete opposite. It does the whole genealogies, like, and it's all through the male bloodline, but the only bloodlines you could ever
Mary
prove
Magdalene.
were through the mothers. Like, if you wanted a truly accurate family tree, you could only go through the mothers, because you could, I mean, a womb is a womb. You know where the baby came from. You
Yeah.
cannot, like, a father, I'm sorry, you
Fertilizer.
don't
Sorry.
always know who the father is. We've seen Maury Povich in real life, and trust me, that's been happening for eons.
Y'all,
So
when they take an egg and they put a sperm in it, what do they say? Oh, the egg is fertilized. What does that fucking mean to you? I posted this on my page. I say it and I get hell for it, but I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep saying it. The seed is the egg, y'all. Y'all have it backwards. I don't know what they're teaching us, but it is backwards. It is literally the fertilizer. You get DNA in that fertilizer, but it's not the seed. The seed is the egg. It is what makes up a human being, the seed.
period.
It lives in the egg of the mother. It has everything you need to make the human being. It just needs the fertilizer to make it happen, or not.
So many
According to
creatures,
history.
like including red heifers, but I was on this whole panda. I'm always on a panda dig because of panda diplomacy, and a panda, if you travel with a panda can sit next to you in the airplane with a fucking seatbelt on. And so there was a picture of a guy traveling with a panda spy sitting just in like me in this chair with its belly out with a seatbelt, just sitting there. And nothing about pandas are real. Like the more I research them, they drive me crazy. But
I'm sick of these motherfucking pandas on these motherfucking planes.
yeah, dude. Panda diplomacy, if everyone looks up it's just spies lease out, or spies. China leases out pandas to different countries around the world, but they own it. They have to send a panda handler. Like the whole you don't get to keep the panda.
Handler.
And when they're born, they're like little pink panda baby. Anyway, panda moms, they only breed for this very specific time, like every 2 years, and they start becoming fertile at like 5 years old, and the males become fertile at 4. But the lady will just go around and she'll hook up with a whole bunch of dudes because all the DNA gathers in her, and it's like almost like she filters out the shit DNA, gathers the good DNA from all the different dudes inside her, and that's her panda baby. And if she has 2 pandas, she doesn't care. She just takes care of one.
Yeah, and that happens
Like if she
with
has
humans,
twins,
too.
no, she's just taking care of one
It
panda.
happens with
Like
humans.
pandas don't give a shit about a litter. They're taking care of one baby at a time.
It's so like Panda Birth is the weirdest shit to watch. Like they literally shoot out the babies and there's no umbilical cord. They like pop them out and I mean
Yeah,
they go
they
flying for
just
feet.
shoot.
You're like,
Somebody have to catch
what
him.
the actual fuck?
But this happens
That's
in
really weird.
humans too, and it was recent
And they're
where
smaller than freaking human babies. That's
yeah.
what gets me.
So like you can have like sex with one person and like hours later have sex with another person and can fertilize 2 eggs because we have multiple eggs that are ready to like go.
Right, that's fraternal twins instead of
Yeah.
maternal twins.
But you can
Absolutely.
also have one egg that allows more than one sperm into it.
Yes.
And then have 2 twins that are identical, but one's black and one's white.
Yes.
Like
And the egg
we're more,
chooses.
I think we're more like cats than we think we are, where women could like there was old tribes that the medicine women or men in the tribe, the elders had to pick. So it was like once the women got to a fertile age and they were like, this is a perfect womb for our village, yada yada yada, they'd go through and they'd pick the smartest guy in the village and the fastest runner in the village and all these certain traits, and then they would let all of them sleep with her because not only would they all take care of her forever, they felt like they were like in this like they were like investing in the child. Like the women would filter all the best into whatever the village needed and then produce that offspring. And so it wasn't even a choice. The womb wasn't hers, it was the village's.
Imagine trying to live up to the expectations of like 9 different dads.
Oh.
Like one of them's like a super sports hero, and another one's like a carpenter, and it's like you could never do it.
Imagine
that
the
your
trauma,
Thomas?
Yeah. Imagine the trauma of not making 9 dads proud.
Got daddy trauma.
Proud dad.
My dad would have been the one that like knew how to hold a flashlight straight, and I just couldn't. I could never hold it.
He's sitting there doodling with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Now I have 9 dads that never hugged me.
Right. Right.
That's my only comeback that I love about the younger generation. I saw on some like movie or online or whatever, where they were like talking, where they were like, your generation can't build a bridge, your generation doesn't know how to plumb, your generation doesn't know how to weld, the world's gonna fall apart around you. And they were like, well, at least I can hug my daughter. And I was like, fair fucking enough.
Seriously.
It's true.
Listen, without like men, we can't create. I'm not saying that men are an important part of it, because I'm looking at some of the comments, we're not objectifying men. We need it. We need it. But y'all got the verbiage
energy
fucking backwards, like we are.
Layla needs the dick. She's not a
I
dictator.
do, for real. Like shit. But the right one, the right body, bro. Like just one
Or the right 9 bodies.
Or that.
Or the right
It's the one-
72 virgins. Be
Right?
careful.
3 body problem.
Is that an inversion too? It actually goes the other way around. Like the guys blow themselves up, and then they're one of the 72. Like, let's be honest, they're probably virgins.
Y'all, but for real, like 2 years is a long time. That's a long time. Like, it's really hard. It's not easy, but it's very, eye-opening, because you know what you want. And it ain't just about the D. You think about the D, but you like need to know what's along with the D, it just can't be any D, So you got to be mindful of who you let in your body. That's it.
Who you let come in your
Unvaccinated.
temple.
Fucking unvaccinated.
I know. I did think it was funny on my Maria's dating story. There was somebody in her dating profile, because she has like, if you're vaccinated, swipe whatever direction. Like, don't even, just swipe. And it says a direction, but I don't know what way to swipe. If you have the vaccine, just swipe. And somebody wrote her, what's the vax? Because she wrote, if you have the vax, just swipe. And he wrote, what's the vax? I'm not from Tennessee.
Girl, on my Hinge, I had a voice memo. Okay. If you ever put a mask on your face, if you got the jibby jab, if you believed any of that shit, go fuck yourself. You're not a fucking man. You're a pussy. So do not follow me. Do not message me. And I literally said it in those words.
You should say you're not even a pussy or a pussy.
You're a pussy. Like
You're a
literally.
pussy.
If you ever wore a
Get out
mask,
of here, you
you're a
pussy.
bitch. You took the vaccine, you're a bitch. You're never gonna get with me. Point blank, period. It's done and it's set in stone, bro. It's set in stone. It's done. I don't want any of that DNA in me. No.
Do you feel like it's a different religion at this point?
Yeah. Thank God. Let that religion become the main religion of the world. If you're vaccinated, you're contaminated. Bye bye.
That is a Layla shirt all day. Period.
Period.
But
Bold.
it should be
Bye-bye.
like if you're vaccinated, you're contaminated.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I want to make a shirt like that.
Yeah, with slapping mad Layla, cartoon Layla.
I
I
like
just think
that.
that's a new rap song. If you're
Yeah.
vaccinated, you're
You're
contaminated.
contaminated. You ain't getting in this fucking pussy, bitch.
Lil Kim style.
Raw, bro. No sugarcoating. It's gonna be
You
raw.
ain't making my pussy itch.
Nope. Oh God. I love you all. Just so you know.
Vaccinated, contaminated.
Because you all are not unvaccinated and smart individuals. You know.
But
I
even if
wouldn't-
you are vaccinated, we wish you well if you've made it here. Because if you've
I
made it
don't.
here
If you
and you're
I don't.
vaccinated,
You're fucking stupid.
We
No.
wish you well on your
I don't.
myocarditis journey.
You get
come a
what's
long
you
way
get
if
what's
you're
coming
here.
to you. I'm being real. You get what's coming to you. That's all.
I wish you healing.
I
I
do too.
don't because I feel like you can only know better, do better when you know better, and so you can't be held accountable for what you didn't know yet. And so I hope you can Reiki yourself and pray for yourself and whatever
I'll do
thing
some
to get rid
Reiki
of
for
it.
You're
you.
so kind, not me. You get what you deserve.
You fucking hot dudes.
I know.
Yeah,
You
fuck
fucking
that.
man and your hotties. Take your fucking
Pussies.
backs with your pussy.
Pussy.
I just imagine there's like a triple vaxxed Hadith that's just like simping on Layla right now, like you're actually breaking his heart.
I don't care. That just filters out the rest, for me to find my one. My king, bro. Oh, God bless you. Just wait. Whoever it is, just wait. Mwah. Heaven on earth. That's all. That's all I gotta say. Heaven on earth. Heaven on earth. That's it.
The land of milk and honey.
Oh yeah, baby. I ain't sugarcoating either. It's fucking real.
I am gonna also shout out Abby if you want to reach out to her. She's doing
I might reach out to
virtual
her soon.
life and personal training, and she also is a Reiki master. So there's a lot of things. If you have stuff going on, or you can talk about it, Abby. I was about to say it like you weren't here. So if you have stuff going on, you can reach out to my friend who's not here and here's some stuff, but you can talk about it. What's going on?
Well, you did a really good job. I like that. Like, I don't feel like there's really much to say.
Yeah, you can reach out to her, and she's doing all this virtual stuff. And if you're close enough, maybe in person stuff. But yeah. So if you're
We can
into
do a
any of that,
consultation. Let me
Yeah,
know.
I think I need to hit you up, fucking Abby. Like really, because I need to get toned. I'm just lazy.
Girl, I can do that. I would love to show like pictures of my current client. Like one of my clients. Oh my gosh, she's looking good, and I've only been working with her 2 months. So
Oh, nice. You got to post like before and afters and like,
when she's ready for it,
Yeah.
she's really happy she took the pictures. I make her send me weekly pictures, and she hated them at first, and she's like, I'm still not happy with them, but I'm so happy. Like she's like, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot has already happened. So
She's gonna shock herself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dream body. She's like, I don't even know what my dream body is. I was like, well, you need to start picturing it because that's what we're going
Exhibit
for.
Abby. Exhibit.
but
A.
it's even if like that's Abby's dream body. you might just be like, I want to lose some weight or tone up or gain some weight. There's a lot of people like, I thought I was going to have to do that for a while. I did not realize how quickly steroids would be like, oh, Violet, you're Violet, Violet. I was like, oh shit. But also, if you maybe you're trying to get your shit together. Maybe you are newly divorced. Maybe you're a mom of 4 and you're a stay-at-home and you're great at all that stuff, but you forgot who you are. Maybe you need help organizing your personal schedule or helping plan meals for your family. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Abby can help you with. So it's not just rock hard body. It's like life coach.
Yeah,
A coach.
How you want to
Life
design
coach.
your body, she'll help you design it.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole process. So if you're interested in that sort of thing,
You're almost like a god, Abby. You can
We're
help
all
people
gods.
design their bodies.
It sounds very transhumanist.
Well,
Does it? But it is a machine.
I mean, it is.
Not
And
everyone
if you
wants to
think
look
about
like
it,
me, but but nobody's gonna. Most of the people are not gonna do what I do. So like that's the thing too with personal training. I'm not everybody's goals are to look like I do, just like Chaney said. But really, it's a whole other level. Like
yeah, she's at the
it's
gym.
mental.
She's not trying to make your gym schedule that you're there 2 hours a day, 6 days a week.
No,
That's not going to be how your gym schedule is. You might just want a 4-pack, not a 12-pack, 6 on each side.
Can we go for a 3-pack?
Yeah, you might not want tie-ins, but you might just want to get rid of a little cellulite.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, a 3-pack, I would say that would be like what your oblique line showing.
Yeah.
Sure, you can do that. You can do that pretty easy.
I like the lines.
Yeah.
The V that goes to the it points down.
The happy
They're
trail.
called cum gutters.
Cum gutters.
What do you call it?
Cum gutters.
That's Pink was the first
Canal.
female artist that I saw that I was like, that's a dude.
I know because women don't develop it that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that women can develop from steroids, but there's other things that just don't happen to us.
Exactly. I'm sorry, but that just doesn't like happen from doing abdominal work. It just does not happen.
And she was
Either you're
young
a
with
man.
it.
I have a 6-pack. I'm even chubby now for me. Like and I still have a 6-pack. You still see my abs. I don't have the like cut-ins right there on my like obliques and stuff like that. I don't have that. And I will never will.
Chris, I know.
So was this like growth hormone and steroids, or is this straight up like Pink was born a dude?
I'm pulling up a picture and you guys tell me what you think.
Well, growth hormone, if she's taking a whole bunch of it, she would have big old jowls and a forehead. So I don't think it's that.
Like, see how her cut-in was back here?
And it was like pronounced when you saw it live, like in video and stuff. It's so pronounced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
was like
Pink. That's who I thought of. Pink, first person. That's a man.
Yeah.
I mean, why else would he be wearing a tie?
Exactly.
Truth in plain sight.
That's a dude.
That cut in. But even in all my most athletic self, I was
Clearly.
like, oh, I never even seen a glimpse of that on my body. I was like,
Wow.
who's
Women
this
don't
girl?
look like that.
Yeah, and she was young with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was like Pink at 17.
She doesn't even have, you can't even see her abs in that, but that's what you can see.
She's coming out of where? The closet?
I know. What was she doing with that? How do you get that muscle?
That's what I'm saying is that like that is not natural on a female. I know female bodies pretty well because like half of what my Instagram feed is mostly naked ass women, not naked, but
Wait a
pretty
minute.
close because I follow bodybuilders. It's these women work out a ton. Most of them are on gear. None of them have that. None of them.
Didn't Brittany have that?
No.
I recall her having that.
Really? I don't think
On
so.
her flat.
Her
I'm a
having it.
slave for you.
I'll pull up her slave video.
I hope I'm wrong. but I look like a V. I look like a man. You guys
That
remember her?
that was the hottest
You're looking like
Britney.
a man. Mad TV.
Get it, get
Miss,
it, get it, get it.
what was her name? The Asian lady on Mad TV. She
Oh,
looking like a man.
yes.
She looking
Ah,
like a man.
you look like a man.
Fuck. What was her name?
Miss Yen?
No. Mad TV.
I'm trying to zoom in so we can see
Yep.
Britney's abs.
Speaking of Mad TV, they also had by far the best OJ Simpson coverage on Mad TV. There was this one of like OJ Simpson bloopers where they're like, "All right, now put on the glove," and he puts it on and like slips on perfectly, and they all kind of like laugh about it.
Miss Swan.
Miss Swan.
Oh no,
That's
she's
it.
good. Yeah, she's good. She checks out.
The trans investigation of Britney Spears is over.
She's good.
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
I'm a
Get it,
girl.
get it,
I'm a
get it,
girl.
get it.
I'm a girl.
Ah.
I'm a...
I'm
Oh,
a
look,
girl,
look.
I'm a girl,
Wait a
I'm
minute.
a
What's
girl,
that
I'm a
right there?
girl.
What?
You just pulled it up. What is that right there?
Her hip?
It's looking like a line to me. Looking like a line. I ain't bugging. It's right there. It's on
Even
her
when
left side.
my abs are totally popping, I don't have that.
You don't
Like,
have it. No.
No.
You just
Abby, what do you
photoshopped
think
it
about
out.
this one?
Yeah, look in the left. Her hip. Look at it. It's defined.
It's weird she doesn't have a waist either, isn't it?
She
Yeah.
is straight up and straight down, and these
Yeah.
tots are not her tots.
They're not her tots.
If
Mm.
you wanna dance now with you.
But didn't you and Summer have both seen her vagina though?
I've seen her vagina, but I
Oh,
will
I
say she showed the world her vagina. And here's
Oh
another thing.
yeah.
Yeah, remember she got in the car and she was
With
like,
Paris?
"What are you gonna do? Arrest me for smoking?"
Holy
Um,
fuck! I forgot about that.
But the weird thing I will say about her vagina is it one time in life I seen a trans finished vagina and I was like horrified. I was like I was at a drag
Kinda
show and there was a whole bunch of drag queens, normal drag queens, men in dresses singing. And then the last drag queen was all like top surgery and I'd never seen a trans guy before and opened up the thing. And there was a man-made vagina and it made like it just made the room silent. Everything in my lesbianness dried up. Like I was dry ass pussy. I was like like it was not a woman. Nothing turned me on like, ooh, that's a naked girl. And that is what Britney's vagina made me feel like.
Oh,
Maybe she's a
weird.
man, bro. And that's okay to admit.
But to show everyone her vagina could be a really big, like a perfect way of like a post-op, like let's just show everyone in public my vagina. So that way no one even questions it because the world's seen Britney's vagina.
That was the
Yeah.
soft launch.
Yeah.
Soft.
Soft launch.
Not hard, but a soft one. Oh my god.
Wow. I don't know. It's crazy. But
What I gotta ask, what about Jennifer Aniston?
Dude.
I don't know because but her and this is the other problem with like the Chelsea Handlers, the Madonnas, the Jennifer Anistons. These certain women, when you look at them young, they're round and they're feminine. And then they start taking because all the women in Hollywood took light testosterone therapy and they're still on it. And so it made all their bodies hard and it made them have this certain look. I call it the Sandra Bullock look, where they all got slightly square jaws. This happened slowly over time, where if you look at Jennifer Aniston back in like Leprechaun and like before Leprechaun, she's just a round Jewish girl. Like but now she looks like she's been on testosterone therapy for 20 years.
Like Demi Moore's face. Is that what's wrong with her face?
It grows your brow, it squares your jaw. It's like the
Yeah.
things I've seen testosterone do to trans fucking people in 1 year. these women on it for 20 years. It's like you can watch Jennifer Aniston slowly become this morph, but like Sandra Bullock, you can watch her from her early young movies and she slowly morphs into this, like, they all look alike now. But
Yeah, and she
Madonna
went from
old
like a
love.
fucked up face to like all of a sudden today, like, oh my God, her like 30 years ago. Like she literally fucked her face up. There's a whole like, it went viral of her like fucking her face up and everything's just like not right. And then you see her today, it's like, how old are you? She looks like she's in her like late 30s, early 40s. That's what she looks like.
She looks like she's 30.
Today, no. Today, no. Maybe like last year, yeah. But today, she looks fucking phenomenal. How?
They put a new mask. They put a new
Tom
mask on
Hanks
her.
plasma bag. Tom Hanks plasma bag.
Madonna. Do you think here's the other go ahead, Abby.
Well, I just wanted to ask Thomas because since we talked about all this, like performance enhancing drugs and stuff like that, or like hormone therapies and all of that, and the HGH of it all, because that's what like it was. My coach said HGH is the fountain of youth. Like he said that is the fountain of youth, and it is technically but so my question is, because you did the whole deep dive on the adrenochrome thing, like what do you think?
No, that's the word of the day. Wow, wow, wow.
I know I almost didn't say it. I was like, what could I say instead? I forgot what you guys say instead.
Well, I think there's a really interesting thread here that's related, but it's not the A word. But it was in like again in like the early 1900s to the 30s, they were crushing up pineal glands and feeding it to children, and it started with like cows and horses and chickens, where they would grind up mostly cow pineal glands and feed it to chickens. And the claim was that they could take what would normally be like 2 years of growth spurts and condense that down into 4 months. But the thing that really caught my eye is that it lost all effect once the animal that they gave it to went through puberty, essentially. So like if you give any young mammal pineal gland extract, and it was basically just grinding up pineal glands from cows and like feeding it to them. I think that's what it was. But that if you did that, that was the original HGH. The original hormone, human growth hormone, was just eating cow pineal glands. And I don't like. It seems like a lot of that research was either discredited or just scrubbed or something, because there was just a complete lack of any other pineal gland experimentation after like the 30s and 40s. But there were so many different ones covered in national papers all across the country, multiple different research articles that all were saying this exact same thing, that the pineal gland could make someone go through like an intentional growth spurt. And it almost feels like that might be where the origination of using steroids and HGH and all these other versions came from, just eating pineal glands.
Well, pretty much, I want to say that almost every steroid that is used, like in the gym sense, they all have derivatives from bovines, from cows.
Well, it's the cows have the cheapest ratio, and we already are processing cows for a million different reasons, leather and beef, and there's
So you may
not
as well use those parts.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is like the Native Americans just use every part of the buffalo. It's
Readily
like, well,
available.
grind up that pineal gland, grind up the adrenal glands, grind up all those glands, and that's what I think started as all this.
Well, and I know like for kids that they believe will be really small, they have to give them HGH by a certain age, or that like all their bones won't grow. So HGH in an adult will grow your hands, it'll grow your feet, it'll grow your jowls, but it won't, and it'll grow your organs. And regrow your tissues and stuff, but it won't grow your bones, it won't add height to your body. So like that's interesting what you're saying about the pineal gland. And
Because
by
I
the
feel
age
like what
of
we've
7.
got now is just synthetic versions of that are easier, cheaper, more controlled, more standardized. Because it's not easy to grind up a cow's pineal gland and then like, it's almost like making small batch alcohol. Like you might drink 4, and like they don't do anything, and then you give your buddy one, and that one was the one that had all the alcohol in it. I think the same thing was applying when they were doing all this experimentation.
Interesting.
I wonder about like elephant pineal gland. Like if you were doing a cow, what about a whale?
I was thinking
I was
whale.
just thinking that.
That's way of the water.
Or an octopus.
The most expensive liquid on the planet is the whale's pineal gland. And they had to harvest it.
Humans are horrible.
I think we're amazing.
We're
both-
amazing, but horrible at the same time. As above, so below.
We're both. for
Like,
sure.
we are so amazing, but so fucked up at the same time.
I don't take responsibility for every bit of that.
I like that.
Like I take
Actually.
responsibility for what I am, and I think I'm pretty amazing most
Well,
of the
and
time.
I always think too,
and never horrible.
when like the humans are horrible thing comes up, like the first thing I think of is my parents have a couple cats, right? And I swear to you, even this year, but every freaking Easter Sunday morning, their cats go out and they just like eviscerate like 4 or 5 baby bunnies. It just happens to be the perfect time of year. And they don't do it for food. They kind of do it for sport and for pleasure and just out of pure boredom. And I just think like I've never done that. I've never killed like a whole family of baby bunnies on an Easter morning for the fun of it. But I know my cats have constantly over like decades. So that's
but they're
kinda
animals.
My cat did. I had a bunny head on my freaking porch the other day. It was like right before Easter.
I saw a rabbit in my yard too, and I looked at my blind dog waiting for her to run after it, but she didn't notice, and I was like, "Thank goodness!"
I
would've
watched
had to
my
go in and-
cousins put firecrackers in frogs and toads' mouths and light them up and like watch them explode.
That was
body
Beavis and
parts.
Butthead's fault. Is there a scale when that becomes appropriate? Because I remember sticking like fake M80s into anthills and blowing those up and thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Well, it's the same idea with the magnifying glass and the ants, right?
Like, is that mean? Is that cruel? Like, at what scale does that all of a sudden become now you're Jeffrey Dahmer, psychopath? Like, if you see a kid pop an
Well, there
ant
was
with a
always that
magnifying
one
glass,
kid-
it almost feels like a rite of passage.
There
But
was
if they're
always
doing
that-
it to like a cat, and it's like, whoa, guy.
Yeah.
Gordy needs a Viagra to wake up.
Well, that's funny because in science, you can't experiment on anything that's over
There are
one
the
cell.
cats.
So, like, you can experiment on paramecia without,
Tired.
but not.
I need some
you can't-
coffee. I need coffee.
No, Viagra.
I don't need I do not.
Can you snort Viagra?
I do need coffee. What?
Can you?
I don't know.
Can you snort it?
Yeah, can you snort it?
I
Why
mean,
wouldn't
they-
you be able to?
Yeah, they
I'm
snort
sure.
fucking.
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
technically you could, but it might not have any efficacy.
You think?
And there's a documentary type movie. It's not quite documentary, and I think it's called The Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down. And in it, like they're doing lines of coke, and the girl like it teaches you how to do drugs and how to party, and I actually kind of really liked it. But in what like she's sitting there
Educational
like
purposes
lining out
only.
coke, and this guy can't get it up, so she's like she's taking him home for a one night stand, so she crushes up a little bit of a Viagra and puts it in his line of coke. And then she doesn't know because he left his freaking heart medication somewhere, so he has a heart problem, ends up having to, causes a whole big issue. They're like, so you might not want to drug somebody like with Viagra if you don't know their history.
God,
But they're
imagine.
explaining how you could do that. You could like crush up a Viagra and put
An
it in
alternate
somebody's
reality where
line.
women are slipping guys Viagra's with their drinks.
Imagine,
I'll help you. I'll help
like
you.
you're riding a guy and all of a sudden he dies on you.
Yeah, she ends up having to freaking call 911, like all that shit.
Oh
It's a
my
good, it's a
God,
good
that's
little. I
traumatic.
think it's the Boys and Girls Guide to Getting Down. I think is what it's called. You guys should watch it.
Oh wow, yeah.
How
Holy
long
shit.
until after they died, and do you have to realize it before it becomes like necrophilia?
Hmm.
Ask your mom.
Well, your mom.
Sorry, I just felt like I should do that because I just felt
Yes, Abby. Fuck yeah.
Fucking Hadith, your mom.
Oh my god.
My mom would tell you everything about her sex life if she ever hung out with the good guys.
Really?
Oh my
You
god.
should have her on the show
Yeah,
one
we
day,
should get her on.
honestly.
Oh my gosh. I would have to call her at like it would be like this time, or she'd like text me and be like, "Are you okay?" It'd be like this time at night, and I'd be like, "Yeah, why? I had an awful dream about you." And I would be like, "I'm okay." And she'd be like, "Oh, I just woke up and started praying." But then if I had her on like with a cocktail, then she'd say some stuff.
Yeah, I think we should have her on. I think your mom would be great to have as an interview.
Miss Patty is something. I might
Yeah.
have to interview her alone because
Oh, yeah.
I'll just feel like I'll get in a fight with her because she'll take you guys on a tail and start larping something, and I'll be like,
You're
"Fuck,
like,
No,
that's
it wasn't like
not
that.
the way it happened."
Yes.
That's her version.
Yep.
My version, mom.
Yeah. Or my sister will watch and she'll be in the chat just
Yeah. No, that's not.
yeah. I'm like,
And it was
"Oh
a
boy."
donkey. It wasn't a mule.
She'll drop
That's
people's
a false start.
names.
Yeah.
She won't even care. She'll be like, "My neighbor Barbara."
I love that.
I'm like, "Ma, don't talk about Barbara."
I love that. Be real, bro. I love it.
Miss Patty doesn't care. She has like 16 Facebook accounts.
That would be a great episode, honestly.
I'm like, "Mom, why do you have so many Facebook accounts?" She's like, "I forget the password." I'm
My
like,
mom
"But
too.
I
Even
think
though
it's
she
freed
doesn't
up
know
my
much
nieces from
English.
having to ever add my mom again on Facebook." Because she doesn't realize she'll write to you and she'll be like, "Ah, Layla looked exhausted today." And I'll be like, no, this is Miss
Oh.
Patty. And like, I couldn't say that real thing she said about someone was that they were fat. And so that would be this is the real thing. I'll just tell you the real thing that she did, but I won't tell you the person she said it about. I'll just say it was a young, innocent person that didn't deserve this. My mom put, "Oh, I feel so bad for blank. They're really putting on weight." And I was like, "Mom, you're writing this to the entirety of Facebook."
Yeah, Ma. She's a real one.
No, she just doesn't know how it works at all. Like,
I
at
like
all.
that though. Like people
One
are
time,
afraid.
her and my wife's mom, they got in a fight. And I was kind of glad because they were like both LARPing around each other. And I'm like, this isn't this woman, and this isn't this woman. And they were both playing this part, and I couldn't wait for the truth to come out. So my mom wrote one day on Facebook, and I don't know, I'm not on Facebook. So I always like hearing the aftermath. My mom wrote on Facebook, "Michelle Obama looks like a monkey." And
Classic.
the Tisher wrote,
Classic.
"Patty, how can you say that? That's awful." And my mom's like, "Well, she does." And then the Tisher wrote, "That's racist." And my mom said, "I didn't say she looked like a black monkey. I just said she looked like a monkey." And then here's where the Tisher didn't know what she was getting into. She said to my mom, "That's not very Christian of you."
Uh-oh.
And that was the end. And so then that night, my mom was hanging out at her spot with her and her friends and stuff. And the Tisher was coming up to the table to hang out. And my mom was like, "You're not allowed to sit here."
You can't sit with us. You can't sit with us.
My mom big dogged her and was like, "These are my friends. This is my table."
You got to sit on the table in the back.
Yeah, bye. She shooed her away to another table.
That's how
Good
Albanians
for
do back
her.
overseas. They will
My
call
mother-
it how they see it. If they're sitting with like a fat person or a tall person or ugly person or whatever, like, "Oh, look at that fatty over there. Hey, fatty, how you doing?" And it's like normal. Like they will call you out, but make it as normal as possible. Like, "Oh, you're too skinny. Oh no, you're too this." Or but they will call it to your face.
Oh, my mom will also give you your name plus your race or your religion. But like here, you'll never get your name. This is how my mom would talk about you when you weren't there. She'd be like, "What's your pretty Muslim friend's name?"
I ain't Muslim though.
No, but that's what she would call you. That's
Oh,
what she
yeah.
would call you. And
I'm
like
agape.
she has like she'll say, "What's the round Jewish girl's name?" Like it's like something about their personal appearance and then something about their race or religion.
That they know that yeah.
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 So it's like a pretty something, or she'll be like, "What's that pretty slutty friend of yours name?"
That's actually another NLP technique. She's just missing the part where you link whatever she's doing to remember who the people are with the name of the person. That's like like you're supposed to take two like really obvious attributes of someone and you just like hype them up. You make like a caricature of it and then you somehow like make it rhyme with their name or something. And that's like a very classic mnemonic device.
Yeah, when I was young, they would use like examples of women or girls that were like bad, like not out like proper, and they'd say, "Oh my god," they'll call me by that person's name just to like say that you're all of that. Like instead of calling me Layla, they'll call me like, let's say I'll pick it out. I'm not gonna call anybody out. Like let's say Newport. Look at Newport over here thinking that. And then we all know who Newport is and what Newport has done. So I'm going to call you Newport because that's what I think of you right now. So they'll call you by that name. And it's
I do that to my
entire
wife,
life.
but I only use her mom.
You see? That's one of it. Yeah.
So I'll be like, "Oh, you're being all Tisher to me right now." But
Like
that's I know she hears me.
Like my ex-best friend, their parents call her daughter me. And I don't know why, but I know they do. They're like, "Oh, Leila Drechit." I'm like, "Oh, they call you me?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm honored." And she's like, "What are you talking about? They're shitting on you." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. I think it's an honor."
Like you're Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, I think it's
Like,
an honor.
"Oh boy,
They thought of
you're
me.
like
I love it.
Layla."
Mm-hmm. I love it.
An interesting thing about you, Abby, with the digital auditory, when you're speaking, sometimes I can see where it's filed in your brain. Like you actually look for it with
Yeah.
your eyes when you're speaking and like you're getting passionate
scanning.
about something. I can see you look for it, and sometimes it's to the left and sometimes it's to the right, and sometimes when people are like, "Oh, when people are lying, they look one way," and when they're looking for the truth, no, it's where it's stored. Is it in the creative side of your brain or in the analytical side of your brain? And so
totally
it's
do
just
that.
interesting what side that you'll look to pull information. But I've noticed it since we do the show, since we stare at each other like this.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Scanning.
Which way am I looking?
I don't
One
know.
eye, like with a triangle around it, drawing Muhammad.
Fucking Hadith.
Fucking
Dude,
Hadith.
speaking of the one eye, yeah, I totally watched the last days of Lisa Lopez or Left Eye Lopez, whatever. Like that was good.
Oh,
I
was
haven't.
this like a TV series?
I found it on YouTube. I tried like
It's a
pulling it up on.
VH1 behind the music originally, I think. Not
It's
to
so
be
good.
so geeked out
She
about
shot her
this.
own documentary and was basically finished with her car accident in the car. So I don't think she's dead. I think she's another
It's called
celebrity.
The Last Days of Left Eye.
Yeah.
Does it have her like setting fire to her boyfriend's house?
It shows the house burning. Yeah, and she explains like what
That's pretty
happened during
hardcore.
it.
Okay.
It's
I'm
really
interested.
good. But then so I was looking into the whole left eye of it all, and I was like, when she used to wear the condom over her eye, she wore it over her right eye. So she never covered her left eye. But then she would like emphasize her left eye with the like paint under her eye or
Yeah,
in
the
her eyebrow
green
ring.
pencil.
Because you know why she said that she was left eye. Because eye is right. And so it was always her thing with rapping, with hip hop. One of the interesting things about Left Eye, like Tupac, is she finishes her life on the Death Row label. So she is like everything that she raps after that TLC album in Atlanta, everything after that point becomes all Suge Knight's. So I just think it's crazy that she goes through the Atlanta Falcons, goes down there, and then her car hits a kid and kills a kid with the last name Lopez, like the day or the week she dies.
Yeah, like a few days before, I wanna say. It was, like,
Yeah,
really
really close. So I don't know. Left Eye, I think Atlanta, because I think Jermaine Dupri also found TLC, and he also found his first band that he found was Crisscross. And Crisscross, just think of the name now, and then you have two young kids with their pants on backwards, so you're staring at their ass all the time. Isn't that a pedophile's dream? So you have Crisscross that comes out, and then they paid Jermaine Dupri off. They let him marry Michael or Janet Jackson at the end, which could be Michael Jackson.
fucking the whole just the TLC songs, like, that first came out, like, "If I need it in the morning or the middle of the night, I ain't too proud to beg." Like, there's 2 inches or a yard, rock hard, or if it's sagging, like, they're seriously, like, just talking about freaking "Ain't Too Proud to Beg" was all about freaking begging for sex.
Yeah.
It's wild.
There's
All the
another,
time.
if you haven't seen, I think it might be a Hulu one. It's called Freaknik, and it's all about like the Atlanta Freaknik parties, and Jermaine Dupri makes an appearance there. A whole bunch of like all the rappers, they're all talking about how it's basically just like a big sex part, like a big orgy, like a fertility rites ceremony that goes on in Atlanta ever since like the 80s, I think.
Yeah, I think it started out as just was it just Howard University maybe? Just like because there's a couple little small universities, so they were like, let's just meet at the park. And so it just started out as a small thing, then music, and then the hangout, and by the 90s it rolls over and it's just like the Girls Gone Wild with everything, where it was just tits and ass and sex everywhere and a whole different vibe. Freaknik. That's old school. I have a theory. What if Atlantis didn't sink, but it actually just rose above Florida in that St. George way, standing on the dragon like Thoth or standing on the gator. But this is why you have the St. George X of Florida with the seal over it being like, fuck that noise.
So it looks like Layla's sniffing your hair like Joe Biden.
I know. Fry smells like delish. I'm so fresh and clean right now.
So fresh
I'm
and
fresh and clean. Speaking of Atlanta, Outcast.
Clean.
Outcast doesn't get their comeuppance. Except
are they
that
pro or anti-vax? I gotta know now.
Hmm.
Do you think they're on the same page? Do you think Big Boy and Andre 3000 agree on vaccine?
I think Big Boy for sure is a conspiracy theorist. Like 100%. Everything he posts is conspiracy. So I don't know if they are on the same page, but Andre 3000 was married to Erica Badu. Erica Badu, I give her Secret Society of Good Guy credit for being the one to out the Obama party for no one wearing a mask. She was the one who did the like Instagram video. And she's also does this really great video of like JFK, like where it's in Dealey Plaza and she's just walking, taking her clothes off as she walks. So eventually she's just walking naked through Dealey Plaza. But Erica Badu's an interesting one. Her kid's name's Seven, and she also married Common. But she says she has a magical pussy.
Wasn't it her?
Oh, she got the golden pussy.
Yeah, she says she has like a magical pussy. Like it's known. Like there's myths about it where anyone who's ever slept with Erica Badu falls in love with her.
Do you think it's always moist?
Pussy.
She's a
Oh yeah.
She's a witch.
It's it's golden moist. Speaking of gold, gold and silver spiking off today. If you're a precious metals person, which I am, fuck that dead energy cryptocurrency, but I'm a precious metals girl, and if silver didn't close at $30, I'd be surprised, but it was at like 29 and change when I last looked. Most of my silver I bought at like $12 plus spot. A lot of it, like when COVID first started happening, you could get it for like 17 to 19 plus spot. It almost closed at $30 today. That ain't bad for silver. And then gold is spiking too. Here's where it gets weird.
Oh, wow.
Here's where you have to get conspiratorial about
interesting.
it. So we all know crypto's kind of crashing a little bit, or Bitcoin's having its little bit of downfall. But a weird thing is gold never goes up ever, and the American dollar goes up too. Ever. The American dollar goes up today as well. It never happens ever when
That's
the
right.
petrol dollar goes up as well. The petrol dollar went up today as well too.
Do you think it has
So
to do with Iran?
I don't know. I feel like this turn they tried to get us to turn into toward electrical cars and solar panels and Teslas everywhere, I don't think we quite made the turn. I think that's where we're going to start seeing these Bronco recalls and all this stuff with the OJ Simpson, is because they need to squash American companies. They need to kill American companies. So you got bath bathing suit shit going on in Target. Everything in Target was made in America back when. You have all the like screw the NFL slave owners, but everything they backed was all American beers, Budweiser, things like that. So you have the whole Bud Light controversy. They take out Bud Light and do all that. Ford is an American company. So all of a sudden they start doing Ford recalls and Chrysler recalls and Buick recalls. Watch, all that stuff will happen. And because they want us to have all these electric piece of shit cars. So the Bronco was like the Hummer, was the last big car that they were going to make before everything became the Tesla truck, which literally is a truck without a back. You're not going to do anything in that truck. And then there's so many people that lived up north during cold snaps that they were all saying their Teslas were dying in the cold and like extreme
And
cold
exploding.
temperatures. Yeah. So I just am like, I think they thought in this like Joe Biden presidency, the build back better of it all, we were all going to be hook, line, and sinker on board with this. And I don't think anyone wants those Tesla piece of shit cars.
No, I don't.
No one's buying into the like, oh yay, free speech on platform, and Elon Musk is going to save. I think that tech hierarchy too, that savior was also set in place for us, where science became a religion and Elon was the pope, the papal of the PayPal.
Yeah.
The everything app.
Do you think we're actually going to convert into all electricity and like throw it all away, like gas, petrol?
Well, it'll be mandated. I don't think we are going to do that. I think it's going to be like forced into it.
And then everybody's going to be making wood grain alcohol and converting their own engines. Just watch.
That's that's what they say with Back to the Future too. The number one thing about it was the banana peel. Like where we're going, we don't need roads, and he puts the banana peel. That isn't a conspiracy. That is why bootlegging started. That's why ethanol's in your gasoline, because you used to be able to run a Ford Model T and just brew your own gas in your backyard. They
This
don't
is
want
demolition,
you
man. I think I'm going to be the ones to end up in the sewers. I don't want
Rat
anything to do
burgers?
with that. Yeah.
in
For real.
Agartha.
Yeah.
You can actually do that now just on the city streets of New York. You don't even have to go into the sewers.
Yeah. For real, legit. There's
I was
many
driving
layers
a
to New York
classic Chevy
City.
Nova in my nap dream right before Secret Society of Good Guys. So that's like weird. I just remembered my dream, y'all. I gotta write it down.
Chevy
I think
Nova.
that there's a very
Yeah.
real aspect of like the concept of like American freedom, and like they hate us for our freedom is entirely based on like muscle cars, or at least like diesel or gas fueled cars, because that was such a unique aspect that's kind of very specific to the United States and America and not Europe. And this is where like the whole, in my mind, like the Euro trash versus American debate sort of comes in, because they all want to live in 15-minute cities, because that's how a lot of Europe was sort of organized, where you could walk everywhere. And then it's like, oh, you Americans, you always have to drive somewhere. But that is the core of our like American identity in a lot of ways, like especially after the whole move out west and scatter and, you know, spread over the entire nation. Once the nation's founded, the next level from that was the freeway system, and being able to know that like I could just get in my car right now, drive 4 hours in some direction, still be in the same country, and have all the agency and everything that didn't exist in like nearly any other place on the entire planet ever until
Road
America.
trip.
Well, they don't want it to exist too. That's why like they want these 15-minute cities. Our gas is cheap and we have so much gas in reserve that we don't need any other country's gas. Our gas could be less than $1 all the time, all the time. Everything that they've ever told you about fossil fuels is fake. It rejuvenates under the ground. That's why any oil man can repump an old oil well eventually after everything grows back and they can repump it again. And we don't need any other country's oil. It's meant to be finite because electricity, they can control how far you can go. Now you can only go to this big of a radius around. Now not only can I control how far you go, I know exactly where you plug in. I know exactly who you're contacting. I control your car. I'll drive it for you. Why don't you take a nap?
Oh, fuck
The
that.
tapping the veins of the Titans. It's all freaking Titan blood.
All for your safety.
And just like an IV, a line dries up every once in a while.
But what about if it doesn't dry up? If it's just
Oh, I'm just
like,
saying, like, a line will dry up, but the vein's still there. So they
but
have to
even
you just gotta let it
like the
heal a
earth, if
little
it
bit.
just
Yeah,
sits,
yeah, you
like
just gotta let it heal.
it's like just, most of our oil even comes from like algae in the ocean anyway, just like condensed algae in the ocean over time, even by their science of what they tell us. So it just is, the whole entire thing is ludicrous. Anything they put in a reserve, they're holding it so they can make the price. So it's
Yeah.
like a diamond reserve.
Government cheese.
Yeah, exactly. That's why America's such a cheesy country, is because we have a reserve of so much government cheese. So it's like that's why we're mac and cheese and we put cheese on our burgers and cheese on everything and cheese curds. It's because we got cheese up the wazoo. We use every part of the cow here.
Yeah. Oh my
like
goodness.
our ancestors told us. Our ancestors, like the Hopi say.
And I always like to point out that this is what makes like McNuggets a good thing. Like McNuggets are the essence of use every part of the buffalo.
Every part. Make nuggets, cheese sauce.
Yeah, because if you see how they make the McNuggets,
Hey,
it's
but you boil
gross.
down like all the cartilage and the
You,
beef, like
you
everything.
think we have that many
Like,
cows to feed all these people on the fucking planet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nah, nah.
well, they're gonna have to get
Soylent Green. Soylent Green.
There's plenty of cows.
There's
Shoot.
plenty of cows.
Nah. There's more
Yeah,
humans than
no.
cows.
I can tell you right now, like, my sister on her land, they have like 900 head of cattle at any point in time. And then when they sell it off, those go to a commercial feedlot. And on the commercial feedlots, in a little tiny amount of space, they put their 900 cattle plus a hell of a lot more. There is tons of cows. Like,
but think
I'm in the
about it.
cow state.
Yeah.
Or
How many
steer, I should
fucking
say, steer,
McDonald's?
because
How many
cow
fucking
isn't
White
beef.
Castles? How many Wendy's? How many Burger Kings? How many what's the one in New York
There's
City?
enough. That's why they corn feed them, because
Yeah,
like
and they
when my
crush
sister
them with
sells,
soy. They
yeah,
crush the meat with so much weird
when
shit.
my
Not that they
sister,
haven't put all sorts of
know
shit
about
in
that.
it.
but like
I
when
don't know.
so when
Every day?
my sister's cattle are grass fed, but then right before they go, they buy them like 200 pounds. They sell them at like around 900 pounds. So they sell them by the pound. It's just the cattle market is just like the stock market. So they sell them at 900 pounds for whatever price. And then they go to the commercial feedlots and they'll put on another like 500 to 600 pounds on each one of these cows, feeding them corn in just a short amount of time. So there's like one cow is, or one steer is a fuck ton of meat.
And like places like
Every day?
McDonald's comes in or Walmart and they say, you will buy your meat. You're going to do a contract with us for 3 years. And you, as a farm, have no other choice. They're like, here's the price we're going to give you for your meat. And you have no other choice. And your farm can only produce so much meat. So all the meat out of your farm goes all to Walmart that you even have. And then if Walmart doesn't need any more meat, it just sits there. It doesn't go to anybody else. It just sits there and they have a plethora of meat. And that's why it's so cheap. And if they run out of meat, Walmart's just out of meat.
So wait a minute. So is there more cows than humans on the earth? Because we're talking about billions of people who are eating
Yeah.
beef.
Yeah, but if you think about it, the
There's
average
more beef.
person, I'm not going to say the average, we'll say 200 pounds, which I'm not going to say that that's average, but like one cow or one steer, by the time it's done at the commercial feedlot, like weighs close to freaking 2,000 pounds. I'm not going to say it's that much, but I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, but
It's way
I'm
more than
speaking
you would
from
eat in a year.
experience. Okay, we slaughtered a cow in front of me, and I did not
Mhm.
want to eat that cow because they slaughtered it in front of me. It only lasted like 3 weeks, that meat. And it's like a family of what? 15, 20 tops?
For 3 weeks, though?
Yeah.
For
a
all the
lot.
meals? That's a lot.
Well, I've got a stat
15?
That's
I
a
here.
don't
lot.
know.
The
You're talking
U.S.
about billions of
Department
people.
of
So is there more cows than
Yeah, but
fucking
how many
humans?
chickens? How many lambs? How many goats? How many like there's so many other meats that people are
But then
eating
we say we're
besides
all
just cows.
overpopulated.
But
So
one cow in my freezer lasted over a
that does
year.
not
Yeah,
matter.
I know. Like even a
Yeah.
quarter of a cow, like me and my neighbors will split a quarter of a cow, and that's all the cow I need for a year. I'll be cowed out.
Yeah.
And
the answer is 1.5 billion. That's how many cows are on the planet, roughly. If you
Yeah,
believe
that's
the
plenty
U.S.
to feed.
Department of Agriculture.
And that's plenty to feed the world.
And if you even drive in Florida, just just a little inland, it's all cow fields.
Mm.
It's all cow fields here.
That's
Isn't
Texas
that where
cow
isn't
fields.
that where Florida crackers came from?
Cracking that whip.
I don't know. Something ain't mathing to me. And my gut is telling me. Not my brain, not my heart, but my gut. Something's not mathing here. But again,
So-
I could be wrong. I don't know.
But even if there's 8 billion people and they're feeding people to people, like it's like people still cost money, and a little baby, like if we have to raise a person until they're actually worth the weight that they'd feed a family, how long would 20 people be able to feed off me? A meal or two? Like compared to a
But we're
cow?
the goyim.
Yeah.
We don't deserve cow. We deserve like eating.
Yeah, even if we're goyim, whatever, even if we're the lowest low, if we're they couldn't eat off me. So if I was a smaller version of me, like how much, like a human caps in weight and size at like 18, I have to raise that bitch for 18 years. It's not even worth it. It's not like it's not worth it compared to a cow. Like a cow, I can just like it's going to be at its weight that's 10 times the amount of Chaney in such a short time.
Yeah, just a couple years.
I don't know. I'm still open to the idea of Soylent Green because they found traces. Of
Guess how
human
many
meat.
chickens they raised in 2023 just in
That's
the US.
more believable. Chickens,
Just in the
yes.
US,
Cows?
9.22 billion just in the US.
So that's more than people.
That I believe.
Yeah.
I'm
see,
going to say the
cows-
Soylent Green thing though comes from the fact that where the commercial places that slaughter the beef, so that come from the commercial feedlots and stuff. This is an immigration issue, and this is not me being against immigrants or even illegal immigrants, because I think that it all has a place. But they basically bring people across the border. They pay them like $8 a day. They're working in really shitty conditions, like a dangerous job. It's a dangerous job to slaughter a cow. They have 8 stomachs. If that stomach acid gets on you, you can die. But then they have these gigantic meat grinders that they're pushing the meat through for cow, or for McDonald's and for all the fast food establishments and for the frozen burgers that are in the freezer section of the grocery store. And the problem is that these underpaid, overworked immigrants are working these gigantic meat grinders, and sometimes they'll get a leg caught in the meat grinder. Do you think that they clean it out and sterilize the crap out of it?
No.
Their legs in that freaking meat.
Yeah.
So that's where I don't think that it's necessarily on purpose. I think that it happens. It's accidental as fuck, and it's tragic. And
You heard of the
and
mafia?
that immigrant who just lost his leg is not going to get any kind of compensation for it or any of that. So I don't know.
So when
I
you
don't
bite
know.
into a burger and you think that there's like a little piece of grizzle or something like that, the little
You heard of the
inedible
mafia?
part, that might be a dude's leg
It
Yeah.
might be, it might be,
Sweeney Todd.
or a
know?
dudette
a Hispanic man. Yeah.
or a
usually
non-binary. Could it be a non-binary's leg?
I don't know. Maybe.
illegal
Yeah.
immigrants.
Well, who knows? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I've never
She didn't
seen
get
it
paid
done.
shit to do the job.
I never test my meat. Should we be testing our meat like we test our drugs?
You ground meat, maybe. I don't think that you have to worry about like meat that's not ground up.
Steaks.
Yeah, if you grind it yourself, that's usually the best way, and that's also like the safest way to have like a very rare burger. Is that if you know that it came from the exact same piece of that's the usually what makes burgers unsafe, where you have to get it. If you go to like certain restaurants and like, oh, we don't do rare here. It's like, oh, that's because your meat is like every patty probably has like 20 cows in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that's exactly, and that's why it's even one thing to buy ground beef. Like I don't buy meat in a tube, y'all. Well, unless it's a Nathan's hot dog, because those are fucking buzzing. But like I don't buy my ground beef or turkey or anything in a tube because it's like that just. But also like the pre-pattied hamburgers, I always that you could buy in the freezer section of the grocery store. I always thought they tasted fucking weird, and that's it. I mean, like you're eating like 100 cows in one patty, so you're better off. You're better off to buy ground beef, but you're better off to just buy beef and grind it or have them
Maybe,
grind it
but you
for
know
you.
how some people like to make suicides when they go to like the fast food
Oh, yeah.
restaurant and they put like a little bit of soda in the cup? That's
Everyone,
kind
yeah.
of like if you go to like, TGI Fridays and order a burger, you're getting like a suicide burger.
You are, exactly.
It's not exactly a turducken.
Yeah, they didn't want to use that name, Suicide Burger, when I pitched it to them, but
Suicide
that's
burger
what it is.
doesn't go over well
Yeah.
in the marketing.
I don't know. What's in your meat, y'all? Oh my God. Speaking of meat, I had a motherfucker. This is why I don't want to get married. Okay. This is why I don't want to get married. Yo, I'm working today. This is why I had to drink even more. Okay. It was just like, whoa. So I'm packing. There's these two couples. They come all the time. They're having a good time. We're all having a good time, whatever. And I'm packing his steak. Okay. Wife and husband. I'm packing his steak and he goes, "Oh, so you touching my meat? You packing my meat?" I'm like, nah, actually, I'm packing your wife's meat, your glorious wife over here. And he's like, "What do you mean? That's my meat." I was like, "Nah, I'm not interested in your meat. I'm interested in your wife's meat." Just like that. And he kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating. I'm like, you're making your wife so uncomfortable right now, and you're not even seeing it. Like, thank you for validating why I don't need to get married, because you're doing this in front of your wife. Imagine what you're doing behind your wife's back. Like, that's all I gotta say. Like, you have the fucking balls to do that in front of your wife. I'm like,
That's disrespectful.
another reason not to get married. Peak. That's it. Fuck that. Like, what the fuck? Repeated it at least seven times. And I'm like, nah, man, not your meat. Not interested at all. Not interested at all. But they have the audacity. I'm like, yo, I'm tired of y'all. I'm like getting sick of y'all in front of your wife now. It's come to the point where you're doing it in front of your wife. Beautiful. I love it.
Was he a hadith?
I don't know what the fuck he was. He was an American rich guy. He thought he could just talk his way into whatever he thought he conjured up in his head. I was like, not this bitch. You got the wrong fucking girl. And I wanted to make his wife feel comfortable. I'm like, nah, yeah, your wife's where it's at. And because his wife was hot. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you all right? Like, to make your fucking wife feel like that? Yo, you're a piece of shit. Yeah, piece of shit. Like, I can't. Nah. That's why I need a king, not a fucking peasant. God, peasants everywhere. And it went silent. An angel got its wings.
Y'all, I'm gonna send myself. This is horrible, and I'm gonna whatever. So a patient today just walked out the door, and there's a nail salon next to me, and there's an old Asian lady that like lives in the nail salon, or her son runs it, but there's like a bed in the back. There's this old Asian lady that's always walking around outside my work, and she was walking by with her walker, and she stopped in front of the door, and this dude walked out and like knocked the old Asian lady over in her walker. It was horrible. The crazy part is all of it is on camera. Like we happened to be sitting in the back when the whole thing happened, and then we went and we also watched my coworkers react to it because the girl tried to tell me when I first walked out, she was like, "Oh my gosh, the lady just fell. She just timbered over." And and even when this totally different guy was telling me about it later, I was like, "Am I a horrible person that I'm laughing at this?" And then I was like, I'm going to be a more horrible person because I'm going to record it and then I'm going to send it to myself. And then I'm like, am I an extra horrible person if I send it to myself and play it on the Secret Society of Good Guys?
No,
our
I think
baby's
it's so
horrible.
funny when
back
shit
in
like
the
that
day.
happens.
Wait, what?
Babies laugh at that.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
I was a kid on the news,
Yeah, they do.
called exclusive. What would they call it? Help me out, Thomas. Exclusive footage.
What?
Exclusive footage.
Breaking, yeah, I
Breaking
know.
news. Exclusive footage.
All right, I'm sending it to myself.
I miss the old way of connecting to the internet, the sound. I miss the old school way. Dial up.
It's my coworker's reaction to it that I think the whole thing's funny to me. But my coworker,
No, I want to see it. No, I have to see
I
it.
know it's so much. Okay, let me send this to my
Wait,
coworker.
did she survive? Can we get
Yeah,
that part?
she's totally fine.
Okay.
Like she was up and at him, and the
Okay.
guy went and checked on her. The nice white dude went and checked on her. That knocked her over. He was so worried about it. But it was funny too because my coworker, I walked out right after the whole thing happened into the front, and she was like, "It's okay. She does it all the time." Like it was like her lack of reaction made me laugh too. Like she didn't give a shit. I was like, "What an asshole you seemed like." Like he doesn't know how often we have to deal with the lady just walking to and fro and getting hosed down in the back and like the
Yeah.
weird story that goes on. Okay,
Yeah.
let me see how I share this. Let me get the Hadith off my screen and the white Bronco.
Fucking hadiths.
Download here. I know, I can't even believe this is coming up. This is how I know it's late night that I'm like, I can't believe it's coming up and I can't believe I'm about to share it. It's so stupid.
I love it.
This is what you get for sticking through the whole episode of Secret Society Good
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh,
I have
the
to make sure I
goodies.
put it on
The
mute.
goodies, baby.
We need to work
Mute.
in Easter eggs since we talked about that last week.
Let me make sure it's on mute and then go back to us on the screen.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Window.
Do it.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Okay, so here's the lady. Oh wait, this is already at the end. Okay. So she like walks down. The walk is so much longer. I cut the video a little. And right when she stops in front of the door, she like itches her back. And it, like, look how slow in the build up.
Oh.
That makes it funny already. Oh.
Oh, God forbid I'm ever that lady, bro. Kill me. Just a little nudge. She falls on the floor.
Like he just hit her walker. I watched it so many times in slow motion. The door just
slow motion too. That's
the
the funny
door
thing.
just hits her walker right at the wheel. See?
And then slow motion she falls. So it was like
She was like, "Okay, you guys, now this is so stupid." But here's the part that really fucking got me. Let me make sure I pull it.
Oh, okay. See, we're gonna get ab workout tonight.
Here's
Yeah.
two of my
No, I don't want to be
coworkers.
that. AI me up. No way. I will get chipped. No.
Here, I will
No.
get chipped.
Yeah,
AI me up. That just
no.
made you totally die. You're like, okay, download me
Fuck
into the
that. Yeah,
Matrix.
give me the Neuralink. Thank you.
All right, here's my coworkers. They're sitting there. The guy is at the door. He's waving goodbye. So he's like, goodbye. Watch my coworkers watch him.
That's me every day. Like, fuck this shit. Oh,
Well, so, look at, all right, have a good day. Yep, happy Friday, dude.
Bye.
Oh shit.
The one's holding her mouth. Oh, his mouth.
What
Oh
are
my
they
God.
looking at? What are they looking at?
The girl falling, the lady falling.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
The guy walk
oh,
out the
damn.
door, and then they're like, "Oh shit!" She's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that
Low-key, I
happened."
would have probably ran out the door and were like, "Oh my God,
Oh my
let me
god.
help her."
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Ay,
It's
man.
so stupid. Thank you guys for humoring that. It was like the whole and being able to videotape it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
Oh.
is so amazing. I can't wait to be able to put sound behind it and edit it with music because I have her
Yeah.
walking down the way for a
She's
while.
gonna go viral for no reason.
I can't wait to send it to my coworkers with like I want it when she falls, I want it to go, oh.
You need some Hanna-Barbera
Oof.
sound effects. Like a whoop, whoop, whoop.
Like summer. Oof.
Oof. No, I'm gonna make my coworker do that. Oof.
Oh
Oh my
God.
gosh, that definitely got me a little bit colder or warmer seat in hell. This is what I always wonder. If you do something bad, isn't that what the devil wants? So shouldn't you get like a nicer spot?
I think so. The worse you are.
Sometimes I'm like the reason that the dichotomy of the heaven hell doesn't make sense is because like I'm just a run of the mill gay. I'm doing like all the shit jobs in hell, but if I were like Hitler, I get to hang out with the devil in the pool room. Like it does it seems like somewhere there's a miss.
That brings me up like the as above, so below, and like how the angels and the jinn are like made of the same kind of substance, which is fire, but different color fire. And for them, it's like, oh, it's hard to become an angel, so let me become a jinn and get a higher seat and position in the jinn world. We've talked about this, I think, right? Yeah, we talked about that. I think that's how.
Is that
how it's
kind of
done.
like being like a trans male swimmer?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Take the
you're
shortcut.
Yeah, you could never ever be an Olympic male
Shortcut.
swimmer, but if you were a female, you could be like
The champion.
300th in the world and be the best woman swimmer ever.
Yeah.
And
That'd be
that's how
like-
Serena and Venus.
Thinking like
They're
literally thinking that you made it,
beings.
but you didn't. Because everyone knows the truth. Like we're trying to elevate, not de-escalate. You know?
I don't know.
That's what I truly believe. Like
Man,
they
I think
see
you
it as the
remember
above.
another
And
dream. I think I was having an escalator dream.
what does it mean when you see yourself in the mirror in a dream?
What did you look like?
Well, it was me. And apparently in our culture, when you see lice in your dream, like in your head, and you're picking it, that means abundance of something. So like I was like
Lice.
I was on it was a world. I traveled. I saw myself traveling into a world where it was just like old, beat up, like fucking carnivals. Like it was just a world of carnivals. Like it was just like clown world and like fucking beat up machines. And I had to go on this ride. And on this ride, I had to wear a hat, a particular hat. And it looked like our ancient hat, the pliss or whatever. And after the ride, my head started itching. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with my head? So I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm watching myself like pick out the lice and squeezing them. And I told my family this dream, like all these people, because it's so vivid. They're like, "Oh, play the lotto, you're gonna win." Da, 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 da. And everyone said it, play the lotto, play the lotto, play the lotto. I'm like, okay, I played the lotto. What happened? Nothing. Nothing fucking happened. Nothing happened. But
So parasite dreams like that. Okay, this is where I get a little woo woo though. I feel like it's important to like do energy testing. So whether you do the sway test or you use a pendulum, when I do the 2 loops like that, there's another one where you do this thing like that. Anyway,
That's what
yes.
I was thinking about.
Anyway, moisture. Let me dry my lips here. Anyway, yeah, I would energy
She
test
lost
to
her own
ask.
train of thought. Anyway, oh shit, what was I talking about?
Ask about parasites. Ask yourself if you have parasites, because that is like your dreams do let you know what's going on with your body. Your body
think
lets you
so.
know. So
My gut.
and it doesn't necessarily have to be lice. It could be anything. It could be, parasites take many forms. So it would be, and it doesn't necessarily mean worms. It could be anything. But I'm just saying, if you do energy testing, your body will tell you if it's true or not. So you can
Thank you.
say, and I'm not saying you have a parasite.
No,
I'm just
I
saying
do have a
that I
parasite.
would
It's my
ask
gut.
that. Yeah.
She has Brill.
Yeah.
And if
For
that's
sure.
the case, then that means that you need to do some sort of cleansing to get rid of it. So your body's telling you, hey, let's do something about this.
This just reminded me of something I wanted to bring up. That I'm glad that you brought up parasites, and I'm glad that you just brought up dreams, Abby, because I just finished reading a book from this Mormon that was written in like the 1930s, and it's called Pygmies and Dream Giants, and it's about this Mormon guy that gets fascinated with this concept that dreams. The way that he describes it blew my mind. And he says that ceremony represents the oldest part of human history that we've got, because ceremony is something that's like passed down from your great grandpa. So it's like, why do you do this ceremony this certain way? And it's usually because, well, that's what my dad did, and that's what his dad did, and that's what his dad did. So ceremony represents
like
the
Islam.
oldest part of human behavior, but dreams represent the newest, because a dream just happened to you, and it's something that happened like within your context. So anyways, this guy goes over into the Philippines, and he lives with pygmies, and he captures all their dreams. He sits down for years, and he just travels from horde to horde. That's what he calls them, of these negritos and these pygmies, and he records all their dreams and their nightmares, and they all have this persistent theory of this thing called like dream giants and something called a spirit cave. And one of these dreams is that they're picking the lice off of their spouses' heads, and every time they get a lice, they would like eat it. And they would start doing this in real life too. So they would all get together for like the group picnic, and the humans are picking lice off of their spouses' heads and eating them. And this explorer guy is like, why the hell are you eating these lice? And the way that they describe it was that like they were so in love with their spouse that they couldn't bear to think that some other animal out there was like consuming their blood and like consuming their essence, and that they were taking it away from them. So it was like a way to like get the love back that these lice were stealing. And it was almost like honoring their spouse by eating these lice, because it was showing that like, I want as much of you in me as possible. I don't want to let the rest of the world like take you out. But it was all related to this weird like spirit world and dream world, where they talked about like one of them was sex dreams, and he was advocating that if you ever have a sex dream, and this gets really controversial, but he was like, even if it's like your mom or your sister, or like even if it's a weird one, you have to see it through to completion. Like you have to orgasm in the dream in order for whatever you were sorting out in your head to like fully play out. And they also mentioned this thing of like a spirit cave, which is where a dream giant comes from. And it was that you would almost like imagine like a headache, and if it were persisted long enough, you would go into a dream and you would find like this demon or like this entity that's responsible for that headache, and you'd have to battle them to the death. And only after you won that battle could you snap out of your trance or out of your dream. But I just thought that was like really fascinating, because again, it's like 1930s, and this is like groundbreaking work analyzing dreams from these other cultures that had never been done before.
Carl Jung did the same thing. He went into Africa and he noticed that his dreams completely changed. Like he started having, that's where he came up with the idea of the collective unconscious, because he was suddenly experiencing things that were not even a part of any kind of cultural heritage that he belonged to in his dream space, and like learning customs through his dreams. But the whole sex to completion thing, like it, I see what they're saying with that. That makes sense because sex is a creative act, right? Like it is the ultimate creative act. But then again, like sex dreams about family sometimes usually have to do with a memory, and it doesn't mean that it's a sexual memory at all. A lot of the times, like I had a friend who I interpreted her dream, and she's like, I'm so embarrassed to talk about this, like I don't even know, she's like, it was a dream. I was like, you don't have to tell me, I know how dreams are. You don't get to always control what's in the dream, and the weird shit happens. She's like, oh,
You're
I was having
sick.
sex.
You're
Yeah,
sick.
yeah, she was having sex with her
You're
dad, like she was like
disgusting.
felt disgusted about it when she was talking about it and everything, but
You just like
and I'm like,
vomit right in the room. And she's,
girl,
yeah,
okay.
this is a safe space.
It's like, so what's been going on in your life? You've been having some sort of, this is a humiliation dream. Like, so you have a humiliation soul wound. Like, this is like you had a humiliation memory, like that either came up yesterday and it is affiliated with your dad. It doesn't mean that it had anything to do with sex. Or, it's about to come up for you to heal and deal with tomorrow. So it's the whole idea of getting the emotion that's trapped in a memory out of your body. So that's the same idea as the spirit cave or the giant cave or whatever you called it. Because like to battle the headache, like anytime you trap emotion, energy, emotion in your body, you have to, like, it causes disease, right? Like dis-ease in the body, but dis-ease in the body when it's not dealt with, and this is frequencies that are supposed to be moving out of you, because emotion is not your natural state. It's something outside of you. It's energy that's supposed to pass through you. It causes actual disease, or dis-ease in the body over time causes disease.
Yeah.
So any memory that has any emotion tied to it, whether it's like complete joy or whatever, it like even too much of that is actually bad for your heart. It will clog up your whole like triple warmer and heart meridians. But like it all manifests somewhere. Anger in your body, like people who have a fucked up gallbladder and liver, a lot of the time that's a freaking anger issue, and you're not dealing with your anger. You have a lot of angry memories and you've trapped it in your body. So, and it causes dis-ease at first, just little aches and pains here and there, but eventually it causes disease. And you end up having gallbladder surgery because you have gallstones because you haven't dealt with your shit. But it's the same idea with the headache. Like you go in and you battle it because you're in the dream space. You can actually process emotion. So you can actually do a lot of your spiritual healing while you're asleep, or your physical healing. Like that is a physical healing act. So your dreams are like, your body is your subconscious. Like everybody thinks it's the other part of your brain, but it's not. It's your body. But your body doesn't have language. So it talks in metaphor and does weird shit, like makes you have sex with your dad or something in your dream. So it's not.
That was one time, and we said we weren't going to bring that up again.
And his penis was not even that exciting.
But shut up.
The orgasm was just, subpar. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but I think I went there. I think I covered it. So
Yeah, I thought it was the whole point of his book too was how groundbreaking, because he was expecting to go and find these primitive peoples that didn't even know they had a brain or had no dreams or something, and he was like, I'm gonna bring this white sophistication to these poor pygmies that don't even know that they're alive. And when he got there, he was blown away that they had like way advanced forms of introspection and like going into their dreams and like fighting off these ailments. And the whole reason that he went there to begin with is because it was a community of like 12,000 different people scattered around the Philippines, but that in over 200 years, I think it was like 250 years, there was no warfare whatsoever between any of them. There was blood feuds. So if you killed one of my family, I could kill one of your family. And then there was murder that was accepted over adultery. So if you slept with my wife, then you were allowed to kill the other person. In fact, the rule was that you kind of had to, like, if someone killed your brother and you didn't kill someone from their family, you were actually the one that was looked down on. Like, oh, look at these assholes. They're not even gonna get their
Pussy.
blood feud retribution. So it became ingrained in society, almost like that movie The Purge, where like it solved so many of these like pent up, feuds. It was just like, oh, that happened, immediate retribution, and then it either stops or it just keeps escalating. But it never ever got to the point over 200 years of actual warfare. There was no like Hatfield and McCoy stuff going on. It was just like one off,
Really?
and then all live in peace. And he attributed a lot of that to everyone being able to process these really complex disputes like in the dream world and fight all these battles in the dream world, so that here in the real world they didn't have to deal with a lot of that.
Mm.
That's what, like, I feel like I do a lot of my healing in the dream space, like, and I know where it's like I get a status check. So I'll just be honest, my sister, like, I freaking hated that bitch. So I had so many dreams where I was beating her ass, and like
Fucking
all I
hot
want to
titties
do is
bitch.
yeah, I was just like freaking beating her ass. And so like through the dreams though, I was working through my anger. I was letting it out. I was venting it because I wasn't doing it consciously. I don't want to think about her. I'm not gonna let her fucking ruin my day, but it's still there. It's still trapped in my body. So like eventually the dreams progressed to where like, nah, I'm not gonna beat your ass today, but I ain't talking to you. I don't give a fuck what you gotta say to me. Like, so then it changed to that. And then now I have dreams about her where I can be in the same room with her and coexist with her. I still don't like her. I'll never like her, but I can be polite. So I know how that shows my healing journey. And I really didn't do a lot of that consciously. I did it through the dream space by literally beating her ass in the dream.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to the canon in the blood wars, and like why they have still people to this day where like they don't leave their house because of these blood wars. It's like you killed mine, I killed your, and I haven't killed yours yet. So there's probably something to that. It's like take and give, or give and take kind of thing, kind of idea, just to even out the scale.
Balance it.
Yeah.
Balance nature.
Huh. It's called the canon. There's like a law. Like if you kill mine, I'm allowed to kill one of yours. So you pick which one. We still have it to this day. Like kids are born into it, which is fascinating. Like they're born and they're like, oh, you're not allowed to leave the house. Why? Because someone's going to kill you. Why me? Why not? Why not so-and-so? Oh, well, you're next in line. Next in line for what?
we didn't want to tell you, but you kind of suck.
Yeah.
Well, if you
This
had one of
pretty
these
good.
blood feuds, you're like, okay, so your first kid, is fucked, and then you make a deal because you're like I killed one of yours, so you're like, you're gonna pick what one? And I say, not my first. You can have my second. And so then it's like I get pregnant, and then we have to hide the kid. Like, think of all these stories
Yep.
of how this probably went down. Like, I have to put my kid in a basket and send it down river and
Yeah.
hope he doesn't split a sea later.
Yeah.
Well, also, we have to dress the boy up in a dress, so that no one will know that was my firstborn son. Like that, everyone will think it's my firstborn daughter, because babies look pretty freaking gender neutral until a certain
Yeah.
point,
And you're not allowed to touch the female.
right?
Mm-mm.
You're not allowed to touch to check, especially. And so then imagine if I was trying to hide my boy and I'm like, fuck, how are we going to hide all these boys? I don't know. What about if we make them all just cover up?
The hijab.
Yeah, then it's easy. We could just put kids and men under there.
In hijabs, which most likely majority of them are like hiding.
Mhm.
How do you know?
It's weird.
It reminds me of like Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo, where she's got the freaking penis nose.
Oh,
Oh God, yeah.
I always think
talking
that's a
about-
big bitch.
Oh my God.
Rob Schneider. He might be like, well, I don't know. He's an Adam Sandler. He
I
said
don't
some
know either.
Rob
things.
Schneider.
Weird realm. Very weird.
My favorite scene, I think which Naked Gun was it? Where they, I can't remember who he's talking to.
Nice beaver.
They're doing a interview, and the guy in the back is like, they're interviewing somebody in a sex toy shop, and the guy in the back is like has a chain, like
and it's just like
a chain, yeah. A
Wasn't it
chainsaw
Priscilla
dildo.
Presley in those movies?
yeah.
Chainsaw dildo. That's what it was.
Really?
She was the love interest.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
She was the
She was the girl.
one. Mhm.
She was the girl.
She was the beaver.
I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a girl.
I really always think, oh
Girl.
man. I have a couple of lady friends, and they're always on the prowl. Like I always call. I'm like, oh, are we husband
On a-
hunting today?
Oh, okay.
We're husband hunting today. Always on the prowl. Always like thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. And so anywhere we're at, like we could just be at the supermarket and a guy will walk by, and in my head I just hear that chicken from It's Like, oh man, from like the old like. And so sometimes I'll do it to her, like if we're at the beach or whatever. I'll be like, oh man. Like I just picture her running, like, run for the hills, dude.
Oh
You're
my
strong.
god.
Husband hunter. And she
I've
has her
been
like
feeling
hat
like
on.
that lately. No lie, like husband hunting. But nothing out there really. And if they are, they're all taken. It's like I ain't a home wrecker. Bye.
Home wrecker.
Mm.
I am. I'm trying to wreck mine.
Well,
Well,
like,
no,
I'm
but
just trying to wreck my own.
Yeah, your own is different. But like if you like, like you see
I'm my
something-
own wrecker.
Yeah. Could be your own record.
That's what's
Change your
up.
yeah. But like wrecking somebody else's, like bitch. Let's duel. Not about that.
You know what I always thought sucked about the duel? Like, imagine some like two dudes are like, "We will duel to the death for Layla's hand," and then the one that
10
you don't like
faces.
wins. You're like, "No,
You're
no,
like,
no! I'll
"Ew,
just
bye."
choose." Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'll just choose. I don't need like
I don't want
only
you.
like one of you, so I don't need you to duel to the death.
Yeah,
thanks.
no. What the fuck? That made no sense at all.
Yeah, so many people like, so what? That meant nothing to me.
Ugh.
You just killed that guy, and I still don't like you.
Yeah, sorry.
And now I even dislike you more. You just killed the love of my life.
Mm-hmm. God, imagine how many women had to live that life, like living with a man that killed their love of their life over a duel.
Or just
This is like
any
Count of Monte
war.
Cristo.
Rape.
Yeah.
Huh?
The book and the movies of Count of Monte
Monte
Cristo is
Cristo.
kind of like that, where
I love
the whole. Have you ever seen this?
Oh God, it's my favorite. Are you kidding me?
That's the whole premise of that movie. Is that
Fucking my
like
favorite
the
movie
two
ever.
guys fight over the girl, but she's really in love with. Ironically, the guy that ends up becoming like the QAnon spokesman of Hollywood,
The
Jim
Count of Monte
Caviezel.
Cristo. Ugh. It's gold. I fucking love it.
You know what else is good? The original one, like, is good.
The first one, yeah.
No, this is a whole different movie. I was just thinking about it, but I
Oh.
just love the cinematography and the way this show's shot. And it's going to be slow for a lot of people, but I really get down on like scenery, and it's all done in black and white. But the new Ripley, if you were into the talented Mr. Ripley, that movie is so well done and kind of perfect to let go of those characters and delve into these new ones as these roles is like, okay, but it's a TV show kind of done in the same way on Netflix as well.
I
But
haven't
it
seen
is
it.
done really well.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I like it.
Is like? Do you think it's like a Layla watch?
Have you seen The Talented Mr. Ripley, the movie?
No, I don't.
You
Wait.
should watch
You ever
that
seen
movie.
The Room? The Room is also
Oh,
based
The
on The
Talented?
Talented Mr. Ripley. You know,
Oh, The Room. I haven't seen that in a long time.
that was. I mean, that's my understanding is that it
What?
was
The
playing
Room
out in
was?
real life as The Talented Mr. Ripley.
I
Because
guess
that was
I've
Tommy
seen
Wiseau and his like main actor that he hired.
Tommy Wiseau.
Ooh, I've seen this actually. It's actually really good.
What's all?
Yeah, it's a TV show just done on that premise. And it's tedious, but it's like, it says it's suspenseful, but it's not. It's almost like they romanticize every single scene in the movie and drag it out. They make every single step matter, but it's all done in black and white. So it's just it's weird how quickly your brain lets go of the color and makes you notice other things. And then it makes me, when I watch this, it makes me kind of realize how much color takes away from motion pictures sometimes, and we don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You know. You have a knowing.
So maybe
We all know.
rock a
Baby on
I'm so
the
sorry.
treetop.
when the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
I can't. I'm offended now,
Oh,
Gordy.
so
What do you
sorry.
think? We're not
I'm sorry.
entertaining enough for you?
I do not entertain you. What am I, the hadiths
You
over
guys are my
here?
favorite
For
part of
real.
my week.
Are you not entertained?
This is my favorite part of the week. I'm sorry.
Well, it probably
No,
is that
okay.
time. It probably since Gordy, you guys, is falling out, we should probably skedaddle too. It's
Yeah.
almost been the
Yeah.
4
He's our
hour
canary in
mark.
the coal mine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
he
go
is.
to a bodybuilding show in a few hours. So, woo-hoo.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh. In it
I
or
know.
watching it?
I'm watching. I'm not
Watching.
participating. I'm
Are you
not peaked.
supporting any friends in it or just watching to learn?
Actually, Amanda Bennett, she's an Olympian and she's my posing coach. I posed with a couple of her girls she's coaching, and I'm gonna go cheer them on. And I have one teammate who's doing her debut on stage, so I'm gonna go watch her too.
Nice. That's awesome.
Do you guys have anything going on that you want to plug?
In 8 hours, I'm supposed to be doing an interview with Tiger King, so that'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
No
I want to ask you
way.
about that. I forgot. I saw that.
I'll post a link on my
Ask you about that.
Patreon, and then it'll be free in like a week or so after we record it and everything.
You're such a badass, Thomas.
Yeah,
That is cool. That is interesting, Thomas.
So make sure you
Where-
guys are following at Paranoid American on YouTube. You can find his Patreon and all those links at paranoidamerican.com. And he's also on Rumble and everything. So make sure you go do that.
Make sure you get the stickers.
God bless you.
We're on the 5th timeline. That's how many times Gordy sneezed. That's how I count what timeline we're on right now.
That's the token for
jumped a
Inception.
The 5th timeline. All right, awesome. So you guys, love you so much. You're the best chat in the world, and we will see you Sunday. Hopefully another celebrity dies or there's a false flag.
Yay.
So we have something to talk about. I mean,
Let's
just
talk
for us
about
to have
sex,
something to talk
baby.
about.
Let's talk about yo, we should talk about sex.
Yeah, we could talk about sex Sunday. It always comes up anyway.
You want to do
when is
sex
it
too?
not?
Because we did sex one.
We could do sex
Yeah,
2 next week
but you know, it was with
for the
fellas.
whole
This
good
way we
guys.
can, like, just do
Oh,
all
just
the
ladies
girls.
sexing?
Yeah.
Oh, on like on a Sunday, you mean?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Sunday sex.
Yes.
We're about to get
Bye-bye.
holy.
I like that.
White shirt, a silver bone, Rothschild mansion, creepy halls behind every door, a cloaked body. Don't you know this is Illuminati? That we put the naughty in Illuminati. We expose the hot bodies of Illuminati. That we put the naughty in Illuminati. Mind control of your soul, of that body.
Are you ready to reveal all there is to see? Esoteric secrets revealed in all of their glory. The Illuminati series from Paranoid American. Putting the naughty in Illuminati. More details at paranoidamerican.com.
Save us, Britney Spears! Can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
call out to the good guys. Good guys, good guys. Good guys, witches, weirdos, mega mistakes, entertaining, calming linguists. Good guys. Forum of decorum needs a secretive society to advance on philosophies intentionally, magically. Good guys, good guys, good guys, good guys. Witches, weirdos, mischief making. It's okay to change your thinking. Good guys. Good guys, good guys.
This morning, oh, mummy, I got my pasty. Please run to me and let me see. Oh, she's a bunny.